Welcome back, guys. I had to take a break last week. It was 4th of July weekend. I don't have any real excuses on why I didn't put the podcast out. I just didn't. It was a long, wild weekend, to be honest, and I kept putting it off, I don't know if you guys had a good 4th of July weekend, but mine was pretty good, drinks, fireworks, good people, good times, all that great stuff. And I apologize. It's not like I was missing an episode. I had an episode ready to go, but I slipped. But here we go. I'm bringing it back. We're back on track. Episode 57 with a very good friend of mine, Kristen Thomas. You guys remember her from way back when. Sex coach. She's back. Guys, you guys loved having her back you guys loved having her the first time. You're going to love having her back. This was a good time. I am lucky to call her my friend. Ever since our last episode, we have stayed in touch and have become, I'd consider, a good friend. I appreciate her thoughts and her opinions. She's really smart. I love what she's doing for Kansas City and in the Kansas City community. Yeah, we joke around and say sex coach because that's like the name-grabbing thing. But she's so much more than that. And again, guys, welcome her back. Enjoy this one. And she has her own podcast now. It's called Keep Them Coming. So, guys, wherever you find podcasts, just keep them coming. And you can find her Open the Doors Coaching. We get into all that stuff. This is fun. She's great. Episode 57. Here we go. Start right.
Welcome to the Inner Talk Podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Roy the Soul. Oh wait, one more thing for me. Thank you for coming to the Inner Talk Podcast. Boom, swat, boom.
I do the 3, 2, 1.
Go.
That's so funny. What's up, Kristen? You're back. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
Can I get a fist bump? Boom.
Yeah.
Everybody, one of the most listened to and watched episodes of the podcast, Kristen, sex coach Thomas, in the house. She returns.
I am back.
And it was
Lots happened since I was here.
a ton has happened
Yeah.
since you got back here.
All good things.
All good things. Let's start with your podcast.
Yeah.
I believe I told you to start a podcast.
You did. You were, you stayed in touch with me and you kept asking, like, when are you going to start it? When are you going to start it?
Oh, yeah.
You helped me come up with my name for my podcast, man.
What's the name of your podcast?
Keep Them Coming with Open the Doors Coaching.
Keep Them Coming. That's right.
Yeah. I like double entendres.
That you do. I remember that from your business cards.
Yeah. What's it say again? You remember?
Head coach.
Yeah. Owner and head coach.
Yep. Owner and head coach.
Yeah. Usually people chuckle at that when I'm at the LGBT chamber. They get the joke.
They understand.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just a little too stuffy, and they pretend they're laughing on the inside, though.
That or just goes completely over their head.
Right. So you've got 11 episodes or something?
Yeah.
That's awesome. How's it been going?
I'm doing like 2 a week. I do a full interview on Wednesdays usually, and then on Fridays a mini cast. I had a little break there in June just because I went to Bonnaroo this year. So
That's ambitious. 2 a week?
yeah.
You do one solo one, your little mini cast that you call it.
It's just me talking about a subject or answering a listener question.
In a closet?
Yeah. Yeah, I record those in my closet.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a studio like this, man. You're a little, just far enough away from me that it's not quite convenient to come over here and use your studio. But, there may be days where I may give you a holler and say, like, hey, can I bring a guest over and record over here?
It's even changed since last time you came over here. It's gotten better. It looks better. Sounds better. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
all good stuff for you, too.
Yeah. Ambitious, doing 2 a week. And you've got enough in the bank that, like, you can actually do that.
Yeah, I've got several
Because I know
episodes.
it took you a long time to even get started because you wanted to make sure.
I think I had 7 recorded before I got started.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that this was something that I would actually be able to still consistently come up with good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a sexology-based podcast. I talk about dating, relationships, and sex. So, it's not just about me talking about stuff. I'm interviewing people who are either doing things like LGBT activism. I have an upcoming episode with a feng shui expert talking about the things that you can do for your bedroom to make sure that you're, keeping the romance going.
Huh. Who's going to be doing that? Feng shui, other than married couples, right?
Well,
do a lot
no, there were some things that she recommended for single people, too.
I think you should, but who thinks about that?
Well, here's
That's
an example she gave
of.
for single people.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she had a client who she was just not attracting hardly anybody that was staying for the long term. So she went into her room and she had, and even throughout the house, I guess, she had all these images of single women, whether it was a picture of just one person or a piece of art that was just one person. She's like, you've got to have art that's pairs. If you're wanting two people to be here, everything in here says you want to be single. So she adjusted her artwork for her. So
it's kind of like messing with the subconscious.
Yeah. Energy's all around us, man. I don't always get into the woo-woo stuff with everybody, but I also spent this last weekend at the Midwest Women's Retreat. And yeah, I went to Bonnaroo. And
that's what I thought you were going Bonnaroo.
No, I mean, well, I do a lot of things that are kind of, I do believe in like energy and intuition and things like that. So
what do you mean you believe in energy? What does that mean? I got a guy that brought a couple of these crystals.
Yeah, I noticed that, the amethyst and the quartz.
That's been here since the beginning.
No, those are good. Those are good for communication and yeah.
That's what he said there. I don't know. He doesn't strike me too much as a woo-woo guy, but he was kind of like, hey, with a sheepish grin, these kind of bring good energy or whatever.
They do,
like,
yeah.
All right.
I noticed them when I sat down, yeah. I have a little bowl of crystals every morning. I decide what I need, just whatever calls to me. I'll put it in my pocket or my bra because it's on my heartline, and a lot of pants or outfits I'm wearing don't have a pocket in the front.
What's the... I mean, I kind of laugh at it. I don't...
It's fine if you don't... it's cool to not believe. Like, I don't think I don't put that much stake into it. It just is for me.
I guess I don't understand. I don't know. It just sounds funny. I've never looked into it. It just sounds... They're just crystals. I mean...
Well, like, have you ever done tarot?
What's the science behind it? I like science.
I know you like science. I do as well. So I'm not really a churchgoer or anything like that. I consider myself more spiritual, and I just happen to fall more into, I guess, just earthly things where it's about that.
It's cool. I got nothing against it.
Like,
I have them on my...
energy,
I have them here for a reason.
Manifesting. I know, like The Secret. Have you heard The Secret before?
Okay. Yeah.
Again, I'm not one out there who's like, you need to read The Secret. If you've not read The Secret, okay, read it if you want. If you don't, fine.
Law of attraction.
There is something to be said about whatever energy you're putting out there is what you're going to get back. I mean, you've seen people who are super negative. All they get is negativity back. Mm-hmm. People who are really positive have positive things happen in their lives. It's not a coincidence.
And there is actually a little bit of science behind that, though. Mm-hmm. Like
when you get down to quantum physics,
if you can trick your brain if you just smile throughout the day. Just tell yourself, make yourself smile.
Neurolinguistics.
And if you also just tell yourself like a couple positive things a day. Tell yourself 3 positive things during the day that you're happy for, thankful for.
Gratitude.
There's actual science behind that stuff. So
so that's all about energy too. Yeah. Again, I spent this last weekend at the Midwest Women's Retreat.
What is the Midwest Women's Retreat?
It was hosted by
what is this?
It was a retreat for women.
Okay.
We had several different speakers talk about several different areas, and one of those things was about manifestation and energy. She actually did a tarot reading for me this weekend, which I believe in that too.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Oh
Witchcraft. This lady, you know what? Fill the tub up. We're gonna see if she drowns or not.
Burn that steak, Lord. Yeah, burn me the steak. Anyway, you got me off topic now, thinking about all that stuff. It's okay. Now I'm thinking about Monty Python and.
Ooh, really? Monty Python?
That's where my mind went.
Why? I love Monty Python.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
I'm totally a witch. That's fine. Call me a witch. I've actually had a couple people in the last week be like, "Are you a witch?" Yep. Maybe. I'm just messing.
I'm messing with you. I don't believe you're a real witch. I wish
I can
you were.
fold a fitted sheet.
You can fold a fitted sheet?
Yeah. Can't you?
Yeah, I can.
Well, people say that people who can fold a fitted sheet are witches. It's just a joke,
that's
but
funny.
Yeah, I've seen that on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love the internet.
Yeah. The last guy I was
internet's
dating, I
undefeated.
was like changing my sheets and he saw that and his jaw dropped and I was like, yes, I can fold a fitted sheet. I'm a witch. Fitted sheet. Sorry, that's between the caffeine and the whatever I had on the way over here.
Oh, my. What did you have on the way over here?
Nanya, don't worry.
Nanya? Okay. But no, obviously, I keep the crystals here for a reason. I mean, I don't knock it. I wasn't going to throw them out. I'm like, all right, if they bring good energy, he says it.
They do.
I've had fun every single one of my podcasts. I'm
Perfect.
not saying it's because of the crystals, but I'm not saying it's not because of that either. You're turning me into I'm coming over to your side. Yeah, woo-woo.
You're getting a woo-woo.
What's another woo-woo thing that's that you do or are into? Nothing else?
I mean, I don't know. Like, what I consider normal is probably what other people consider woo-woo. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to kind of
But you
quantify
pick
that.
a crystal every
Well,
single
like I
day?
said,
Every day you're
so
like, what calls
usually-
me? This, and then I carry it? Okay.
Yeah. Whether it's, I have like a raw garnet that's my birthstone, or it's a piece of jewelry I put on for purpose.
Are there
like,
bad crystals out there?
It's not so much about bad. It's just sometimes they can carry negativity and you've got to recharge them in sunlight or moonlight. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I love it.
I wore my turquoise earrings Friday night because it just something was calling to me about wearing turquoise. So,
I bet turquoise
in a tarot
looks good
reading
on
that I
you.
watched online on YouTube because I've gotten very into that lately.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a friend turn me on to it. Now I just can't stop.
To what?
Tarot readings. There are tarot readers online. You can watch their YouTube channels and get a tarot reading. They just, do it for your general horoscope reading.
Okay.
But it's been freaky because how YouTube works with their algorithm, once you start on one kind of topic, then the next is feeding into the next video. They're freaky, like consistent. Freak me the fuck out a few times.
Give
where
me
I'm
an
like,
example. How long
just
have
drawing
you
the
been
same
doing
cards. Oh, only like 2 weeks. Okay, so I
Okay.
had a breakup at the beginning of the month.
this? Okay.
We weren't together that long, but like it hit
But
me
it
kind of
hurt.
hard
It
because I
hurt.
liked him a lot. I loved him. I'm fine with saying that. But yeah, I had a friend who's also she's a massage therapist and does aerial work. She's like, look, I just got turned on to this guy that has a YouTube channel by a mutual friend of ours. Let's watch it. Let's see what it says. And like within 2 minutes, it was just freaky accurate and I'm bawling, but I kept watching his videos. Well, then I start going down that rabbit hole
How do you
on the
start?
internet.
Well, like, how did you start? Did you put in your day,
I
month?
put in
and
his channel, which was Eat, Read, Love, Capricorn Daily. And then
That's
just
a long name.
Eat, Read, Love is just his channel.
Okay.
And then like
And then he
my
has one
horoscope's
for-
Capricorn and then like the daily for it. So.
And so I would go to Scorpio and
Uh-huh.
go to the daily, and every single day.
And then there's like he has monthlies. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does it for like 2 or 3 day periods. But anyway, people will post videos all the time, and yeah, I'm getting like similar cards, similar readings, similar like messages from all of them. It's what's been kind of like freaking with me. But the good news is all they've been saying is I need to pay attention to what's in front of me, not what's behind me. Just be myself, and I know what energy I need to put out there into the universe right now, and I'm just doing myself right now.
That's what you got to do.
Yep.
No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you got to fake it sometimes. Because you got to trick your brain.
It's the fake it till you make it. Yeah, that's the easy
No,
way to
I'm
put
not saying
it.
all the time, but every now
Right.
and then you got to.
Every now and then it is about just, you know what you got to focus on. Just focus on that. Positive energy. Yeah.
That's
I wish nothing bad for anybody out there. It was not a bad breakup. It was just not meant to be right now. So.
Well, cheers to the future. It wasn't meant to be. You got some good things out of it.
No.
Lessons learned.
I did a podcast on Friday so I ran into a street sign.
What?
I ran into a street sign.
How long did you how long was it the last time you saw him? The street
beginning.
sign.
The street sign? What?
You ran into a street sign like it
Okay,
was an old
so-
friend or something.
No, like I literally ran.
Oh,
into
physically
physically
ran
ran into a street sign.
I'm just being stupid.
I had a huge knot here. But I turned it into a lesson about breakups,
This
which
chick
is
did
like
that recently too.
pain. I'm clumsy. I do run into things, but as I said on my little podcast, there's no fucking street sign that should be low enough that at 5'5" I run into it because that's low to the ground. Anyway,
That's pretty low.
that is. But it was over by the Nelson Atkins. I heard someone running up behind me. So I stopped just to make sure I was safe. And the gal didn't realize, she scared me. And then she kind of realized what happened. And we had a little chuckle about it. And then I turned around and went straight into it.
Right in front of her?
Yes.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
But at least it was right at my hairline because I had a big knot, but nobody could see it. If it had been just right here, it would have been like, phew. Anyway. So I said to her, I guess this is a lesson and I need to be paying attention to what's in front of me, not what's behind me.
Yep.
So as I'm walking to my car and I'm rubbing my head, I'm like, that was the universe telling you something, Kristen.
Wow.
Because I had been so stuck on the breakup in the past. So, yeah. So I turned it into a podcast. I sat in my closet with my little Zoom recorder and I recorded a podcast.
You love podcasting? Is it something did you
fun.
like it more than
I find
you thought?
I'm good at conversations.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's all it is we're just sitting down having a conversation. So.
And it's working out, you're getting good enough numbers. Are you surprised with your numbers and happy?
I don't know what numbers I'm supposed to have, but I'm I'm excited when I look at my numbers and I'm okay, cool.
That's the numbers you're supposed to have.
There you go.
There is no number. It's
and
just
it just
whatever
keeps growing
makes you.
because as more and more people get turned on to it, they are going back and
you're
listening.
all over the place. You're one of those busy people.
The gal hosting the retreat this weekend, when I got done with my talk, she's like, she's kind of like a local celebrity. She's on TV all the time. She's on Better KC. She's doing this, that. And we were lucky to have her. I'm like, no, I was lucky to be there. Because, not only did I get to speak about sexual healing to a room full of women.
That's a good song.
Yeah, right? It is. But I learned a lot myself, too. So I was happy to be there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you like being on the KCTV5? What's
so,
that like?
Live
times,
TV
right?
is
it live
nerve-wracking. Yeah. But being on here, you don't edit. So
This
whatever I say on here
live.
is just going.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, are you live streaming on YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
But it basically is live because
is.
you're not going to cut anything out.
That's all I do is add my intro and song.
Yeah, I edit.
Yeah, and that's fine. Most people do. I'm just too lazy.
I know. We've had this conversation
Yeah,
before.
it's actually not the laziness. I just like the rawness of it. I want whatever you say, it's out there. Pretend it's live.
Yep. You'll hear my swallows. You'll hear me set my cup down. Do all that.
That's what people like. They like the realness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The swallows.
The swallows. Is that that's what your mini cast should be called? The swallows.
Oh Lord.
Keep them coming and the swallows.
It's not a terrible idea.
I know it's not.
Yeah, no, that was fun the way that you helped me come up with that name. You were just texting me saying, well, what about this name? What about this name? Because you were peer pressuring me into getting this going.
Yeah, because I know you've been wanting to do it for a while, and every time I talk to you, you would have an excuse. And I don't like excuses.
And
there's I don't like
getting
excuses.
Your equipment something.
I don't like excuses that can be easily fixed.
Touche. Okay, there's also, admittedly,
because the excuse,
there was some
deeper
fear
exactly
of putting myself out there. Because once you put yourself out there, it is.
I'm not dumb. I know I know that's the real excuse. That's why I was like, "Fuck that! No, go ahead and go." Then that's why I was like, "All right, then we're getting you a name right now. Then
yeah,
let's get your name."
As Brene Brown says, you got to stop living your life being small.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just based in fear when you're living small, shrinking yourself. I'm not meant to sit small.
No, I know
walk
you're not.
tall.
I remember. The first time you were on, you want to be like the Dr. Ruth.
So you know what card I keep drawing?
No.
Motherfucking Empress.
Yeah? I'm glad you're my friend.
I'm glad you're my friend.
Oh, thanks.
I'll take you along for the ride.
Please do.
Well, you're the one that's going to get best podcast in Kansas City this year.
No, I'm not. I hope I just get nominated. I honestly hope I just get the nomination and I'm on the ballot.
I voted for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's crazy. You have your own podcast and you voted for me, and you've been on.
Why wouldn't I?
And
I just got started. Let me get some time under my belt. You've got what, 50 something episodes? 60?
55, 56, 57. This will be 57.
See, there you go.
Yep. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a ride. Yeah, like I said, I just hope to get the nomination. I'm not going to win. There's a lot of good podcasts in Kansas City.
I do listen to a couple of them, but I mean,
What do you like?
At this point,
What do you listen to?
I did like
ones?
Open Belly.
Open Belly's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
She was on here.
Rich Dad Roundtable.
Rich Dad Roundtable.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
on their show too.
Okay.
So I like still listening to theirs. So I listen to yours.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of podcasts right there between that and my other one.
Trust me, I know.
Plus, I know you say you don't listen to your own, but I re-listen to mine just to make sure that it sounds good on different devices. Like, not necessarily the whole thing, but I will try to do it like a once through, at least on my phone, to see what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
So, and make sure I edit it properly and I didn't fuck something up there.
I listen a little bit here and there. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm already talking to myself enough in my head. And if I'm going to take a break, I need to take a break from myself.
Yeah.
I can't just listen to myself.
I know, it is kind of hard
weird.
listening to my own stuff. That's why it's easier to just do the live TV stuff. It's short, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that like I say, that is a lot of fun, but it is nerve-wracking.
I'd like to do that. That'd be cool. They would never have me on there. We've had this discussion. Did I tell you? Action 41 News. They have a podcast.
Okay.
It's, and they do their own little podcast, but they're also, one of the things they've made a statement on is with their podcast, what they want to do is have other local podcasters on to kind of showcase and promote and help local podcasters out. Okay. And so I sent them an email saying, hey, I'm, Ryan and Neander Talk, blah, blah, blah. If you guys are, made a little joke. If you're ever desperate enough that you need another local podcaster, I happen to do one, and I've been doing it for a while. Check me out. I'd come on your podcast because I'll do anybody's podcast.
Sure, yeah.
I love podcasting.
I'll have your episode up soon.
All right. Yeah, see, anyone out there in Kansas City or anywhere, I'll be on your podcast. What was I saying?
So 41.
Oh, so yes. So I sent him that, and the guy was like, well, the producer's on vacation. When he gets back, I'll discuss it with him and share it with him. So a couple weeks go by, and he sends me this long email. It says, Ryan, he got back. We checked out your podcast. We really liked it. But unfortunately, because of the adult content and nature of it, we feel like we would get a lot of flack for having you on. Type thing. So basically saying you're too dangerous. If we had you on our podcast and people saw what your podcast is, they'd give us shit for having you on our show.
Gotcha.
We can't promote that.
So I guess I wouldn't be on there either then.
You're on KCTV5. You're a bit different. You're not.
But they bill me as a relationship coach when I'm on TV. They don't call me a sex coach. And I say I'm a relationship, dating, and sex coach.
Yeah,
so.
I just say the sex coach is for the...
Catches people's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much every podcast I've been on, they just pretty much call me a sex coach, which I've been on several lately. So, and Startup Hustle. That's another one I listen to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some good ones around here. You run another one, the Relennials.
Yes. I listen to their... Well, I don't know if something's going with their Apple, and that's usually what I listen to, so I watch their videos. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're a couple of cool friends, so.
Nice.
Yeah. Folks my age, and they're more focused on, like, music and art, which is an important part of my life. So I like their stuff.
How great's Kansas City?
Oh, amazing. I'm constantly telling people, like, I'm wearing a t-shirt actually from a
Be
gal that's local. Be Who You Are. Yeah. Happy Pride Month. I know this probably won't air before the end of Pride Month, but.
No. Next Monday. Nope. Sorry. Pride Month's over. What? Today's the last day? Tomorrow? How many days are in this month?
30.
Today's day 30?
It's Sunday, yeah.
Oh, so, shoot. Yeah. I'm late on my trash bill. They're going to charge me extra. I have to call tomorrow first thing in the morning.
Back on track. I love Kansas City. No, Casey's awesome. I'm constantly telling people. I mean, I host an Airbnb at my place, too. So I'm always just talking up our city and helping people find fun things to do around here.
Well, because I only said because you are so involved with the city.
Mm-hmm.
Like doing all these podcasts, doing the shows, and then you're always in the community going to like these little creative type, whatever, I don't know, meetups and cool things.
I'm always going to stuff.
I wish I had the time to do that. My job won't let me. And then
you got a job and kids.
Yeah.
So I'm living the single lady life in the city. So cheers to that.
You want to borrow my kids for a couple months?
Fuck no.
Oh, they're cute. They're great. They're mainly
Are they all potty trained?
Mainly. Mostly.
I don't even dog sit. Are you kidding me?
Well, you're just because you're a cat lady.
Yes. But
I didn't say a crazy cat lady.
I am a cat
You're
lady.
just a cat lady
Yes.
that, happens to have a couple. You have a couple cats?
I like dogs. I have 2 cats, yes. I like dogs. I just haven't had one in a
She's
while.
into tarot. She's into crystals, single.
Talk
Not
about
crazy.
Talk about sex all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I have
love
pink
it.
hair.
Pink hair, don't care.
Yeah. So I had to call my mom before some social media posts hit with that women's retreat. I was like, hey, so a couple things to tell you. Went down the list. I was like, and I have pink hair. And she's like, what? In her mind, she had like fluorescent, like hot pink in mind, like what's on my shirt. But it's just rose gold. And it's just temporary. It's just overtone.
There's this chick I follow on Instagram.
I did it for Bonnaroo.
You got to, right? For do something like
Hell
that.
yeah.
There's this chick I follow on Bonnaroo. On Instagram. Her name is Does Before Bros. DOES. She's a hunter.
Okay.
I mean, she hunts bear, elk, deer, whatever.
Okay.
And she's got super, super bright fluorescent pink hair. It's really cool.
I guess that'll help prevent her from getting shot when she's out hunting.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It probably helps.
Good safety measure.
Uh-huh.
I have a hot pink wig. So I think that's when I told my mom pink. That's what she had in mind. Cause that's what
That's what I think.
like
When someone
wanted.
says they're going to get pink hair, I think it's going to be like,
yeah, no,
bam!
it's just
But that's
rose
almost
gold.
like a strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool.
Ombre.
How come guys
Strawberry.
can't do that?
They can.
Straight guys. How come straight guys can't do that?
Who says they can't?
Come on.
No, for real. I'm not kidding.
That takes I don't know. I mean, to do like that, you think I could rock a strawberry hair?
If you wanted to, why not?
I just don't think.
I've seen
I
guys
don't
do
think
it
would-
for like Breast Cancer Awareness Month
Sure.
for
but
her cause.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like
for
the
a
start.
cause, I would
So
do it
here's
for
the
a
thing.
cause.
So it's about breaking social norms, right?
Right.
But you doing that would be a violation of the social norm for a
No, I just think-
heterosexual man,
No,
right?
well, it's not.
it would
It's
cast
not that. It's
judgment
just I don't
upon
think it
you
would
and
look good.
attention.
It wouldn't look good.
And people would ask you questions and make assumptions about you, right?
I don't know. I would think if it was bright fluorescent, I think it'd be like, oh, that dude's obviously gay. But if I did something like what do you call it? Rolled gold?
Rose gold.
Rose gold.
Uh-huh.
Rolled gold. I think those are pretzels.
Yes.
If I did rose
Need a
gold,
snack?
then people would be like, huh. Then they'd have questions.
So what if they did?
I wouldn't even know how to answer it. I think it looks good, or I'm just trying to have people approach me. I don't know. I just wanted to see what it looks like. But it's just not like what guys do. Chicks do that stuff all the time, but guys, we don't do that.
Again, because that's what society has said is not okay, right?
I don't know. Is that why, or is it just because it wouldn't look good?
I'm asking you.
I just don't think it would look good.
You'd have to bleach your hair out a little bit for your hair color.
Mm-hmm. I've always been a freak with my hair. I've done it all.
My best
I've
friend had
mine,
blue hair when I met him.
I had mine green.
Mm-hmm.
I've had dreadlocks. I've shaved
Oh,
it.
so
I've had
green, like masculine colors are okay, but it's the rose gold that's too much.
Well, hold on. This was back when I was younger, when Green Day first came out.
And bleaching your hair and dyeing it was like super punk.
And I wanted
cool.
I wanted to have the bright green because Billy Joe had it. Yeah.
Armstrong made it cool.
Yeah. That was like 94. That was like 94.
Flea has done all sorts of crazy colors with his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's different. He's Flea. He's not. He's
Well,
not
Billy
a
Joe
mailman.
Armstrong
He's not
is
a
Billy Joe
mailman.
Armstrong, so it's,
But a bleaching is different. I can do the bleaching. It's a little wild. I think that's more 90s though. Who does that anymore?
A lot of people, actually.
I mean, I've seen it.
Dudes? A lot of dudes are bleaching their hair
I've seen it.
in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Really?
Again, I live and work in the city, so I see a lot of variety.
Yeah.
You're out here in the burbs.
I go down to this. I'm in the city all the time. I like going down there.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Look
crossroads.
up, pay attention. Get off the phone. Pay attention when you're in the crossroads.
That's what I do. I just look at them and I just look at it as normal though. I don't
That's
ever
the
think
thing,
about it.
yeah.
I'm not thinking about it till now. But yeah, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Bleach it. Give it a try if you want.
I just don't think I would look good. What would I do, ladies?
Yeah,
I got
but you're
two ladies
dudes.
here.
It'll grow out fast. You
Yeah,
don't
I
like
don't
it.
ca-
You
look,
shave it and it grows out.
Yeah, I do everything with my hair. I'm not afraid.
There you
I
go.
just don't know what would look good. What would look good? What would I do that would be like breaking a social norm that would look good though?
I've seen guys do full on silver, like the silver fox.
Ooh,
thing
yes.
When they're younger.
I like the silver fox look.
Silver fox. I could go silver. Is that like platinum or
Yes.
something like that?
No. Silver. Like gray.
Like
Yeah.
dye your hair
Like,
gray on purpose.
Dye my hair gray.
You have to bleach it and then dye it is the thing for your hair color. You have to bleach it first and then put the gray in. The silver in. Yeah. Silver is a whole thing.
So I would look older. I'm already old. This would make me look so much
Especially
older.
with that beard, yeah. But it's, I don't know. I've dated guys who are completely silver haired, and I think it's sexy as hell. So, although I do get some flack from some of my younger friends. They're like, ew, he's old. I'm like, he's only like 7-8 years older than me, or 4 years. One guy was only 4 years older than me, and he's got completely silver hair, and but a full head of silver hair. Yeah, it's sexy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I concur.
Mm-hmm.
Miss California concurs.
I don't know.
Miss California concurs.
You got me thinking here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew that I already have with this podcast, but I don't know. I'd think about it. How much would it cost to do all that?
I don't know how much for short hair.
Me,
Like
because
yours.
I can do hair.
Perfect. There you go. You got the hookup.
I guess I can just shave it. Everybody's gonna laugh at me.
Ah, there it is. That's
No, I don't
what you're
care.
worried
I don't. No, I'm not
about.
worried about it. I do so many things. I get laughed at every day. It's just my coworkers. They just give me a lot of shit. Huh?
I think you should try it. Do it.
Golly,
Do
that
it.
would feel.
Do it.
I don't know.
Do it.
I might. I'll think about it.
Okay.
Huh?
You peer pressured me into getting my stuff going with the podcast, so this is the thing I'm going to peer pressure you.
Well,
on.
that's a big difference.
No, come on.
All right. Anyways,
Yours is less financial risk, and again, you can easily shave your head and remedy the situation if you don't like it.
I'll do it closer. How about if I do it?
I do my podcast and put myself out there, and people hate it like it's in the ether, and I can't.
How
do
about
anything
if I
about
do it closer to hunting season? That way, I'll be shaving my head anyways.
Sure,
Ooh, but what if
whatever.
I like it? But what if I like it?
I like your head shaved.
You like my head shaved? You do? Huh?
Oh, there you go.
Whatever.
Just matters what you like, but
It does matter what I like. She might not even be around.
and that's the whole point. Doesn't matter if someone laughs at you for
Hunting
having silver
season.
hair or hot pink hair. Anyway,
Anyways, yes. You got some questions for me, Miss New Podcaster out there? We can do a swap cast.
we could do a swap.
We're doing a swap cast. I'm going to run this on mine, and then you can run this episode on yours, too.
Okay, yeah. Like a crossover.
Mm-hmm.
We just air the same episode on each other's.
Yep.
Hmm.
But mine's going out next week.
Okay.
Next Monday.
Well, I could do mine this Wednesday. I mean, I don't have anything necessarily I think that's timely right now. So, let's talk about Pride Month. There we go.
Pride Month.
Yeah. We were talking about Kansas City.
Yes, we were.
So, I don't know. You're putting me on the spot here now, suddenly asking you questions. I wasn't ready for that.
Well, boom. How much of it you should always be on. Always be on. Be ready. Always as a podcaster.
It's been a long weekend with this retreat, let me tell
Yeah.
you. And, yeah.
Yeah, you were on all weekend, huh?
I was on all weekend.
And it's
Yeah.
early in the morning.
It's early.
This is my
Ugh.
first. This is my first sober
I got up before
podcast.
dawn yesterday.
Did you say kangaroo? Oh
What?
my gosh.
Kangaroo? Does that mean we're getting off the rails?
No,
What?
no. We can bring that up after you ask me a couple questions. Well, okay, Miss Sex Coach. What do you think? Here's a good topic. What is your experience, knowledge with gas station sex pills?
Just don't.
Really?
Don't.
Don't?
Don't. Come on. Really? Why?
What-
Why?
Do you know anything about them? Have you tried them? Do you know anyone
No.
that's tried them?
I would never try those.
Really?
No, I just can't imagine it. Okay, no. Because what's the purpose really?
What is
Like
the
you're trying to
purpose?
extend your. Okay, there's ways to do that without a medication or a supplement or a pill. You're trying to get an erection, like that stuff's not really going to get you hard. If you're having an issue with an erection, you have a medical issue and you need to go see a doctor.
What if it's just enhance it? Or what if
Enhance
it's just a
what?
mess? Who
Enhance
knows?
what?
What if it's...
Where they think they're trying to either increase your size, that doesn't really work. They're trying to extend your or not let you not prevent premature ejaculation. That's what guys are worried about is PE
yeah.
or early ejaculation. There's
PE.
ways to do that
PE.
without. Yeah, there's ways to do that without anything. You want to know how?
Yeah, I do.
Can I see your bottle? It's going to be a little more phallic than my Starbucks. All right. So, this is your penis. This is where your balls are. So, it's from the front. Okay. Base the shaft where...
Hold on. So, she's grabbing this bottle. She's grabbing it by the shaft with her left hand.
Doesn't matter what it's about the spots. So if the balls are right here,
balls are
it's
underneath.
where the penis meets.
Where the penis meets the
scrotum.
Balls on the bottom part.
Push on that.
Push on that.
Yeah, and that'll prevent you from, if you feel like you're getting to that point of no return and you're about to have an orgasm, you push on that, that will slow it down.
Slow.
And prevent you from having an orgasm.
So you don't know anything about them, though. You're just saying no, they're not going to do anything. But why do them?
I just can't imagine that those things are actually healthy or safe.
Right.
They're gimmicky.
And
they're a waste of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not recommend taking anything like that. I mean, seriously, you're going to buy a medication, something you're going to put in your body from a gas station.
Or a sex shop. What if it came from a sex shop or Amazon?
Again, it's just gimmicky. It's just another thing to try and get your money.
It's funny.
Yeah. So part of why I'm having a hard time thinking of questions for you is because the questions that I might normally ask a guest, like someone you are dating, is sitting right here. So that's hard for me to go into some of the questions because it's like I'm interviewing both of you.
Well,
so,
I mean, I wouldn't say, what are we? What are we over here? You cool?
Situationship.
Pretend she's not here.
Pretend I'm not here.
Pretend she's not here.
Okay. It's still hard for me.
Why?
I don't know.
We're open.
Okay, there you go.
We're good.
Perfect. Okay. So you're in an open relationship is what you're saying, or you're open-minded?
Yep.
Or open to talking about
You
things?
got it.
Okay. So how has your dating life been since you're a single dad in the city?
So, single life, being a dad in the city, it's difficult because I have my kids every weekend. And so, most people, obviously the nights to go out are Friday and Saturday. And I can do that every now and then, but that's extra cost. That's a sitter cost.
Yeah, but if you're just going out for dinner, are you asking for a weeknight dinner, or are you just assuming that they'll say no?
No. I'm just saying that's part of it. So when you're dating, you have to, that's part of the switch for me, is learning to, or just trying to date on weeknights, right? So you have to do things on weeknights for the most part. And so that's just, it's just a hurdle. You know what I mean? And also at my age, when you're dating other people, you're dating other women usually have kids. They're usually divorced, or most of the time. Not all the time. There's those exceptions.
Not me,
right. You don't have kids. But a lot of it, the dating pool.
I agree.
Pool,
I mean, a lot of the guys out there have kids. Yeah.
Yeah. When I'm 39.
38.
At this age, it's just.
We're almost 40.
I know.
My mom's like, stop saying that. Stop saying that.
I know. I don't know what I'm going to do when I hit 40.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross. Anyways. So then when you're dating other women that also have kids, you're dealing with their schedule too. And a lot of guys have their kids on the weekends. And so a lot of women have their kids during the week. And that's when I'm free.
Okay. Well.
So there's this like, okay, well, sometimes I'm open on Wednesdays. And so you're just, it's really difficult just not only to meet people and to find someone you like or connect or whatever. It's just hard to even find someone that you connect with, or not even connect with, but like meet and talk to, and like start developing a little bit of conversation to where you're going to maybe be interested in meeting a person. Like if you're online dating. And then you have to then hope they have available time, like enough free time too, that, hey, if stuff's cool, it's not just once a week.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with it just being once a week for a while?
Nothing. It just depends on what you're looking for.
Let's
but
take it slow.
Yeah, for sure. But then I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's part of the problem with dating these days is people try to like move things along too quickly.
I'm all about, yeah, for sure. I want to take things slow.
Seeing each other once a week's a good way to let
Well,
that
I don't want to say,
just
but no,
develop
I
slowly.
just say like down the line.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, hey, if
It can't
there is,
yeah,
like,
it's hard to make that forever.
if at some point there's someone I like and she's only her one night, she only has one night a week. What happens if we are cool and we kick it and like, who knows, 6, 7, 8 months down the line, I want to see more than once a week.
Well, that's when you start paying for sitters or figuring that out. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like,
well, so I'm saying, yeah, that's
anything that comes, like if you really like the person, you'll figure it out. Like if there's genuine feelings there, so many people think, again, instead of being present. Yeah, I'm saying like pay attention to what's in front of you instead of what's behind you. But what's in front of you is what's presently there, not necessarily talking about like, oh, what's coming in the future. Like, yeah, that's there, but it's more about being present.
Right.
I think people are so concerned about like, what if?
Sure.
What if this happens? What if that happens? And
yeah,
they get so wrapped up in that they aren't focusing on what's right in front of them.
Yeah, it's good advice.
So, in those situations, you've just got to be present and say, like, does this person even deserve my time for this week or next week? Instead of thinking about what will happen down the line. So, but this is good information to have because, some of my clients are divorcees with kids.
You know what I mean? It's part
I don't have that perspective, so it's good to have.
Yeah, that's just part of a bigger equation of just all that stuff. And then also, I guess this would also be specific, more to me, but it's but can be applied to a wide range of men, divorced men with kids, is financially. It's just I don't have as much money.
Right.
Is it if I wasn't divorced with kids? I pay a lot of money. A lot of my check. I mean, I might as well sign just. There you go.
So like paying for dates is not what you're looking to spend your extra money on all the time.
All the time. I mean, yeah, like it's just, yeah, and it's I don't know. Yeah, being a single man,
going Dutch is perfectly acceptable for people these days.
It's that's I'm old school. It's so hard to do. Like I feel so bad. I would never ask, hey, let's go Dutch. I always offer. And
what if you were to say, like, would you like to split would you like me to get it or would you like to split it? That's a good way to put it. So then that way it's like, I'm happy to get this check, but if you're more comfortable with splitting, because some women would prefer to split the check.
But if I ask a woman that, she's not going to say, oh, I want you to pay for it. That's rude.
I think that some are willing to be like, I was expecting you to get that today.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine saying that to if a chick said to me, hey, do you want to split it or you just want me to pay?
Well, there's circumstances where, like, if we plan the date together, like if you pick me up and you're taking me out and you're doing stuff, like, yeah, there's an expectation if you're going to pay for it. However, if like we plan things together or maybe we started at some place and then like it was my idea to go to the next place, like in those situations, I feel like there's an expectation of splitting the check because we kind of like figured this out together. It's a night out like that versus you tell me to like, you're going to pick me up at 7 and you've got the night plan. That's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you're in a situation like the former where you kind of like maybe you guys met up somewhere, again, like that's the thing too. Some people are more comfortable meeting somewhere for a date. And especially if she picks a place or she asks you, that's one thing too that you might say like, hey,
you would think that, but
that's a situation where you can say like, hey, would you like me to get this or were we planning on splitting it here? Because if she asked you to go do something, there may be the expectation there for splitting it, in my opinion.
Yeah, you'd think that. There's a lot of different people out there. There's a lot of people that I've talked. You
can even just put it like, should we split this today?
Especially
if she asked. Yeah.
I try to stay away. I try to stay away from the Johnson County chicks. They're just too far away. They're just too far away.
That is quite a drive for you.
And they're bougie as you know what.
Are they?
You know they are.
Please do tell me how bougie they are, in your opinion.
You just know they are. They've just got this arrogance. My stuff don't stink.
We have some Johnson County listeners, Ryan. What about that?
There's exceptions to the rules. And, and the Johnson County women that are listening to this show, they ain't the bougie, awful, stuffy types. You know what I mean?
They're maybe
getting
some of
real.
my clients are Johnson County girls. So,
Right,
yeah.
but yeah, this is a swap cast. Sorry, Johnson County ladies. You know what I mean too, though. They know what I mean. They know. They'll admit it. They know they're just a little.
Well, here's the thing. So for my listeners that could be in that category, why don't you, as a single man, describe the perception that you have so that they can avoid acting like that?
Yeah, they just got that uptight. They're uptight and, gosh, I don't want to generalize, but I guess I am. But the ones I've
so let's
interacted
not say Johnson.
with,
There are some
there's
women.
Okay, here's what I mean.
No
if
matter
you're
where
from,
you come
yeah.
from, who act in a way that you consider bougie.
Right.
Okay. So define that.
Okay, here's
and what is unappealing to you about that?
Let me
behavior?
defend myself real quick, because this is Kansas City talk.
Mm-hmm.
If I say independence, what are people thinking? I ain't dating some independence chick. What are people thinking?
Well, hey, I'm from Belton, so
What-
not from
what-
Belton. That's the thing I say. I'm not from Belton to avoid that too.
I'm not asking what you're thinking.
What do other
What do
people
Kansas
say?
Cityans say if we were having the same conversation? Said I'm not going to date an independence chick. Why?
They have a lot of meth problems.
Mm-hmm. White trashy little.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's what the perception is for South Kansas
So-
City and Belton, Grandview is like white trash.
So I'm talking
or-
as a Kansas Cityan here. When I
Okay.
say the Johnson County type, we know exactly what that type is when you're in Kansas City. Like, okay, I understand what the Johnson County is.
You know I'm playing
just
devil's
as
advocate here by playing
just as
dumb,
much
you know?
as I do. But it did just have to make me think for a minute. But it's just more of that. It's like Kansas. It's like it's just slang. Like it's independence people.
There are perceptions of
you know,
people. Yeah.
Wyandotte.
Wyandotte. I was just about to say the dot.
Not so much more as it was. I mean, it's still a little. People still kind of have a little bit of that perception of the dot.
People
But
have
it's-
perception of people north of the river.
Do they?
Northlanders.
Okay.
Northlanders.
I don't see. I don't know a whole. What do they? What's the Northlander deal? What's their deal?
Heavy drinkers.
Okay.
Partiers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My
I don't know
my
that
cousins
one.
all went to North Kansas City High
Okay,
School.
cool.
And that's like all that group.
Okay.
Dear people. Some very wonderful people, but whoa, they drink a lot.
Okay. Northlanders,
party.
drinkers, and partiers.
Northlanders are partiers, man.
Okay. I ain't mad at that.
Oh, here I am, 38, and still going out on weekends and doing things. So
Yeah.
they're at home with their kids. So who's the partier?
So Johnson
But when
County.
they do party, man, they party
Yeah.
hard.
All right, so Johnson County females, look, I don't mean all of you that live in Johnson County. I'm not going to, it's not that. It's
talking
just
about
that Johnson County type.
affluent.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this type of woman.
Yeah, this is more of a socioeconomic type
Okay,
thing than it is.
they're affluent.
Yeah.
They
Like it's a bougie. When you say bougie, people know what you mean.
again, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Like one was like, "Oh, hey, let's go meet up for sushi."
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I don't have the money to be buying sushi right now for us. And she
Mhm.
goes, then what are you on here dating for? Because she expected for me to take her out to sushi
Mm-hmm.
and pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's
Maybe
like,
that was her idea.
and it was her idea.
Mhm.
And she's like, well, what are you even on here dating for? I said, really? Huh. It's not that I can't afford it and I'm going to go. It's like, I'm just not going to meet you for some chick for the first time and drop $100.
Yeah. No, I when I was dating online a few years ago, I had a time where, I mean, I was kind of in between jobs. I was doing some like side work here and there, but I was like actively looking. My resume was out. I had a few interviews, but I hadn't gotten, hired yet. And one guy accused me of just using the dating site to get free dinners. And I was like, okay, I have been on several first dates lately, but it's like 1 or 2 a week, but it's been 2 months. I just haven't connected with anybody. It's not about that I'm trying to get free food to survive here. This is just about I haven't met anybody that's actually caught my interest,
Yeah.
including you.
Yeah.
I don't need the dinner now. See ya.
I think there are chicks that do that.
I'm sure there are. I mean, I think there was actually an episode of Aziz Ansari's show where he was sitting there like talking to somebody on his phone across from his date. She's just like gorging herself and then ordering like a to-go box, and he's literally saying like, I think she's just here to get a free dinner. Yeah. They exist, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, and they're probably the male equivalent out there as well. There's ways to filter that out. Hey, maybe that girl asking for sushi, maybe she was one of them. Maybe she looked like she was an affluent
Right.
person from
Maybe
certain
she
areas
has
of the
that
city.
one nice dress.
Maybe.
It has
Maybe.
like just a little
Maybe
bit.
she's like, I'm in the mood for sushi tonight. Let me see. I'm going to hit 5 guys up. I'm sure they exist,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there's men that do the same thing.
That's a harder one to pull off.
Well, they show up without their wallet.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Does that work? How do you do that?
They probably just left their wallet in their car on purpose. That's the thing. Like,
I've done that before, but I was like, oh shit, let me go. I left my wallet in my car. Hold on, and I went back out and got my wallet.
well, there you go. No, like, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Yes, I've had clients experience that where the man asked her out on a date, and then it's oh no, I don't have my wallet, and she's like, I've had it happen to 3 different clients.
Yeah, that's no way. No man leaves their house without their wallet.
Exactly. I think I had it happen on one date a couple years ago. Luckily, all we'd had was like a beer and an appetizer. So I was like, okay, got this.
Yeah, like I said, I've left it in the car briefly because I don't sit on my wallet. That
Which is good. That's good for your
a
posture.
bad back.
That's right.
Which I have a horrible back to begin with.
course you do, I'm sure.
Anything I can do to help it out. So every now and then, but you don't ever leave your house. I think.
I know this.
So chicks. Let me tell you,
I mean, but also when you are in the moment as the woman, what are you supposed to do? Look
I'm
at your
telling
survey
them
and
what
be
to
like,
say.
He's a piece of shit and he says he forgot his wallet. I mean, somebody's got to pay anyway. What are you going to do? Call him out? I mean, he's just going to leave. You can call him out, certainly.
Ladies, here's what
cause a scene if you want, but
here's what you do, ladies. I'm going to tell you what you do because these guys have their fucking wallet. They have it. You look at that guy straight in the eye and say, I don't believe you. Mm-hmm. We're going to split this check in half. I will pay for mine. You can pay for yours. Okay. Have a good night.
There you go.
Do something like that.
Have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do that. Pay. Oh, well, really? Well, I thought we were just splitting it anyways. So I'll pay for mine and you can pay for yours. No problems here.
Okay. Sound advice. For the confident woman that will do that, yes. A lot of them are just going to pay.
Don't do it.
But that's an option.
Don't do it. So just pay and then see what happens.
Well, I try to give people multiple options. You know, you can do this. You can do
and
this,
then you see what kind of
3-door option.
I just want that one option, and then that'd be such a good like hidden game show or something. If you could just predict what guys would do.
They could also go to the bathroom, pretend to go to the bathroom, find their server, and be like, "Hey, he says he forgot his wallet on our first date. I call bullshit, so I'm gonna pay for my half. Here you go, and I'll dodge out." That's another option. He's responsible for his, like you say, he's got his wallet.
Yeah, just make him pay. I would like to see. I would like to see that, like a hidden game show of guys that show up on dates without their wallet, and then the girl says, "All right, well, I'll just pay for mine," and then see what kind of lies they come up with, or how long they can play along with the lie. Really, let me just call somebody. You know what I mean? What they would come up with? Oh, I'm all right. You caught me. It's in my car. I would love to see the different kinds of reactions, and then you can kind of see what kind of people are really like.
Sure, there's a show out there like that somewhere, maybe in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Or the UK. There's a lot of dating shows on the UK TV.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to love dating shows.
There's like their first dates and stuff. Yeah.
Were you into that, watching dating shows at all? Because we're the
yeah,
same
a little
age.
Bit.
That was like
on MTV. What was Love Connection? Was that it?
That was Chuck Woolery. 2 and 2.
That was
way before, but I was watching that.
What was the MTV one with Jenny McCarthy and?
Oh yeah, Love. No, that was Singled Out.
Singled Out, yes. And then Carmen Electra.
You know what my favorite?
I watched that.
I did watch
Love Connection.
Roger Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that probably still holds up. That is such a good dating show. It was like a blind. Oh my god, there'd be a blind date, obviously, and then oh my gosh.
I don't remember that one.
Do you know that one? Can you look that up on the intranet over there? Do you know how to work that computer?
Can I look it up on my phone?
You can look it up. Yeah, just do Google Roger Lodge dating show. It was so good. And it was like a half-hour show and chunked up in like 2 15-minute episodes. Like this couple for 15 minutes and the next one.
It's called Blind Date.
Blind Date. Okay.
Oh my!
You were saying it was like
God,
a blind date.
It was so good. So they would just set these random people up, and if they'd hit it off, it was good, and if not, obviously it was even better if it didn't. And they would do like the little side interviews. It was like when reality TV stuff was like, that was like the formula.
What was this on?
I think it was everywhere.
Okay.
If you had cable, I don't know. I don't
if it was
think
on cable TV or if it was on like, network.
I think probably both. I think it's been everywhere. It's probably been syndicated, and I mean it's probably all over the place.
I don't remember Blind Date.
God, we got to Wikipedia that shit.
I'm looking it up now.
She's looking it up now.
On it.
But then they would add like these little pop-ups, like, and these like little funny jokes.
On NBC Universal.
I'm doing a horrible job of selling this, but like they would like do little cartoon pops up if like the guy said something stupid. Or if the girl said something stupid, it'd fly. It's just like, I don't know. Fuck.
I do remember that now. Yeah. Wasn't it on like E or something?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably on E all the time.
Because I think I do remember that. Okay. All right.
It was really, it's just.
Do you need me to pull up an episode or something?
No, we'll get kicked off of YouTube. But it's probably on YouTube. See if it is on YouTube. Can you go to YouTube and.
I know how to do it.
Okay.
I'm a smart woman. I know
I assume you know how to work a
Your
computer.
producer's got it.
Yeah, I'm in between producers right now.
Your stand-in producer has got this.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. Okay. Chill.
I know she's got it. Blind Date. Oh, it was so good. I used to watch that all the time.
So I was saying to somebody that I wanted to have a radio show.
You want to have a radio show?
Well, and he was like, how do I put this? You don't have a face for radio. And I was like, he's like, you need a TV show. He actually thought I needed to be a politician, but I'm not going to do that. I've done too many drugs and fucked too many people. So that's my slogan.
You could run somewhere in California.
Probably.
Hey.
Yeah.
Really?
I have something pulled up.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Is it on YouTube? I don't want you to play it. I just want to know if it's available on YouTube.
It is, definitely.
Okay,
Perfect.
nice.
There we go.
So, Blind Date.
So Blind Date, so people out there, just YouTube Blind Date Roger Lodge, and it's going to come up, and it just, they were so good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch some of those.
I loved all those dating shows back then. Yeah, the MTV had some good ones too. Remember they had one where it was like Date My Daughter, and they would like pick out.
Is that one of the more modern ones that they had?
Oh,
like in the last like 10 years?
No, I would say even before
even
that.
20 years. I haven't watched MTV in a long time. And I don't have cable or Google TV or anything anymore. Got rid of all that stuff. Just do the streaming services.
Me too.
I don't know. Just MTV died a long time ago to me.
They killed themselves,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
They started getting more and more ridiculous, and maybe it's just we got older though. Do people watch? Are kids watching MTV?
Did we just get old and grumpy, or did MTV just blow?
I mean, MTV was good.
It used to be.
It used to be really good in the 90s, and even
MTV News, man, with like Tabitha Soren and Kurt Loder and
Kennedy.
Although she's kind of gone off the rails these days.
Oh, is she? Where is she? I just saw her.
Russia Today.
She's on RT?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I saw her on another, like...
She does some random stuff.
I thought I saw her on, like, another mainstream. I thought I saw her on Fox or something.
Yeah, she's on Fox a lot.
Okay. Huh. What's Kurt Loder's dead, isn't he?
Is he?
I think he is.
I think he is, too. Mm.
And then who's the other guy that is a decent rapper, white guy? Rex. Simon Rex.
Dude, a friend of mine just posted a picture on Instagram with him. I was like, is that Simon Rex? She's like, yes, girl. I'm like, the hell?
He was just here.
Yeah, I guess she got her picture taken with him when he was here.
Yeah, Mickey Avalon, Dirt Nasty. Yeah, they were at the Riot Room. If I would have known in time, I would have liked to have gone to that.
Yeah.
It's good. He's funny. But yeah, he was an MTV guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did all the interviews. He's got a podcast too. He just started.
Everybody's got a podcast.
Everyone's got a podcast.
Something for everybody. Top of my head was in there.
All right, so that's what it's like being a single guy with kids. It's, got a lot of equations.
Mm-hmm. A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. It's yeah, I haven't figured it out. It's still a learning process, I guess. I
Isn't
don't
that
know.
life?
Yeah, it is.
That's just life, man.
Mm-hmm.
Roll with the punches, figure things out as you go.
Oh, yeah.
There is no instruction manual.
Just keep looking forward and don't look behind you.
That's right. Be present. I think one of the most important things is just like be happy with where you are right now. You know, happiness is not about a destination or a goal. Like, it's not about finding something and then you'll be happy. It's not about getting the job or getting the money or getting the house. You've got to be happy right now.
But isn't
you
it
can
nice
certainly have goals to attain and say like,
yeah.
but to be happy with where you are and what you're doing, even if that happiness comes from the fact that you are working hard to attain those things, it's still about being happy in the present. To say like, I may not have those things, but I'm kicking ass and taking names and do what it takes to get there. And that in itself is what's producing my happiness.
And then you have to add mental health in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, life. What a strange thing it is. Strange times we live in too. But I guess
That's for sure.
I bet everybody.
People are a lot more anxious and depressed these days.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I
probably.
think it's hurting their sex lives. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People are, it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you fall on. It's just anxious times in the world from every angle, it feels like. Whether it's, people are living paycheck to paycheck. They're working 2 or 3 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the 2 jobs at times too.
Many times.
Yeah. So.
Many times. It sucks.
Like was said in the debates the other night, we should not have to work 2 or 3 jobs to make it in America.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Well, then you get the other side that says I work 2 jobs because I want more and I want to work harder and I want more things, so I just work harder to get more things.
But there's a lot of people who aren't working 2 or 3 jobs to get more things. They're working 2 or 3 jobs to survive.
Yeah, well, then they need to get better
The rent's
jobs.
too damn high.
Right? Don't they need to get better jobs, higher paying jobs?
That's always the argument.
That's
but
what
let's
I'm
talk
saying.
about
That's
let's
the
talk
argument.
about this is a whole other topic there.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
You brought up mental health. That was kind of how we started going down that track there.
Yeah, you got mental health. That's always, can factor into people's happiness now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's so many things that factor into happiness. It's not just a mindset. That's a big part of it. But there's still other factors. I mean, like if you're not exercising, if you're not eating right, I mean, you can be the most positive guy out there, but if you're throwing down McDonald's all day, every day.
I agree. But here's the thing. I don't think that really happy people are also doing things like that to their body constantly.
Yeah.
Because let's think about like the chemicals that are then flowing through your body. Like you feel like crap and then your energy is just crap. So like, I don't know. I can't say that I have met somebody who I'd be like, that person is a really happy person and they take absolutely awful care of their health and well-being when it comes to their food or their exercise. It doesn't mean that they're great. Maybe they're on a path
what about
to taking better care of themselves.
Happy guys, the fat happy guy that drinks a lot. I know a couple of them and they seem to be pretty happy.
Are they though?
I don't know. They seem like it.
They seem like it. But that's the thing too. Like we never know what people are going through.
Right.
So there's lots of people that we look at and we say that that person's happy. And we don't know what secret struggle they have or what pain they're going through. But I'm talking about when you really know somebody on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have plenty of friends who are happy people, but that doesn't mean like everything in their life is like great.
Mm-hmm.
There may be areas that they're really struggling with and other areas that's like, but they focus on this to help bring them happiness. But to be unhappy in the moment is one thing, but to have an overall general happiness about your life, that's different.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's when you are taking care of your health and exercising and eating right, it's not about where you're at physically. It is just about how are you treating your body at that moment. Some days may be better than others, but the happy people, no matter what their size or what shape they're in, are usually taking care of themselves in that way. Yeah,
I would agree. I always feel better when I'm taking care of myself in all the ways. And I know when a lot of times I can pinpoint, I haven't been exercising. That's probably why I'm feeling a little down. Or, oh shit, I've been eating trash.
Don't you often find that you start eating like trash tied to your mood?
I don't know what comes first. I don't know if I start eating like trash and then my mood starts deteriorating because of it. It could
See,
just.
and I
It
used
could
to
just
be a health and weight loss
Right.
coach. Like that was my background.
But it could just be out of convenience.
Could be.
I don't feel like.
So then it's also like if it was out of convenience and then you give yourself trash, then you feel like trash and then you crave trash. It's the whole cycle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's sometimes how people get drawn into it. They slip up just once and like let those things creep back in, and then they get into a cycle of
It's
unhealthy
easy.
eating or
Cycles,
not
I mean,
exercising.
Yeah.
And
Humans fall into cycles so easily. I mean, it's what we're built for.
takes 21 days to create a habit, only 3 days to break it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
3 days?
Yeah.
Trying to think of
Trust me, that's from studies.
I like that. Takes 21 to learn a habit and only 3 days to break, but it's so hard. Those 3 days, people
But the
think
good
those
news
3
is if it's
days
the
are
same
so
habit
hard.
you're trying to reestablish, it doesn't take that long to reestablish it. So your first time you're trying to establish a habit, whether it's wearing a watch, exercising, eating breakfast every day, it takes 21 days to make it a consistent habit, 3 days to break it, but it doesn't take another 21 to get back into it. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I got a couple habits.
So
I
if
need
you
to
spend
get
4
back
days
in
without
and-
your watch on, it's not like,
Oh,
you put
sure.
it back on the 5th day. Oh, it takes 21. Like it
That's
might
a
take it might
weird
take a
one.
couple days or a
That's a
week or
weird
so.
one. I remember when I got married. I'm not a jewelry guy.
Like wearing your ring.
I used to wear earrings back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Tongue ring way back in the day. I was like the
Same.
first dude to have a tongue ring. It was like 98 or something like that, way back in the day. So yeah, when I got married, that ring felt so weird. It felt so awkward. I was like, why do people do this? What's the point? It just feels, it's like, eventually then you get used to it and then you take it off and then you're like the whole time, where's my ring? Where's my ring?
Yep,
Yeah, the
that
whole
feeling
time
right
you're
there.
just thumbing your ring finger all
I'm
day.
familiar with that feeling.
Or you look down
It's
like,
been a long time, but yeah.
it has been a long time for me too. I still have mine.
I
need to sell it. I don't know how to sell it. This my producer over here was gonna help me sell it. We need to do that.
I know somebody.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
My dad likes to buy, sell, and trade like coins and jewelry and stuff. So,
really?
Okay, so when I got divorced, I basically had him sell my rings for me. So
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Sweet. All right. See, remember earlier I said I'm glad you're my friend?
got connections all over this place. man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll
Give
give
me
you a fair price.
That's all I want. I just want something fair.
There you go. Is it just gold?
No, it's diamonds and
Okay.
diamonds and gold. Not diamonds and I don't know. I don't even know. It's silver. Platinum?
Platinum?
I don't know.
White gold, maybe?
He's talking about Johnsy County bitches
Bougie.
over here, and he has got
I had
diamonds
a
on
white
his
gold.
It's a wedding. It
diamond
was a
wedding
wedding
ring.
ring. Yeah, I had a very nice wedding ring. Very nice.
My first set was nice.
Hers was way nicer. Hers was way nicer than mine. So I didn't buy it. I didn't know bougie. She bought it for me. That's what she bought me.
Well,
I picked it
can
out.
help you. I can help you get some cash money for that.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Vegas.
There you go.
I'm gonna do a podcast in Vegas. I'm not.
Podcast from the Strip.
No, I'll find some guest out there, but I just want to go out to Vegas or somewhere. I bet. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to do a podcast somewhere. I'd like to take it mobile to like a different state, and also just to have a vacation, either there or like L.A. Hey, Miss California, you got L.A. connections? Could we go out there and spend a weekend?
I've got LA connections.
Really?
Yeah.
Got Vegas connections.
How about for a podcast?
I have a friend out there who used to be an adult entertainment star,
Ooh,
and I've thought about going out and interviewing
guy or
her for
girl?
my
Girl?
girl.
Would
Yeah.
she be my? Will she be on my podcast?
Maybe.
Maybe. Is that how good is your connection?
Thing is, like,
A what?
Transgender one that would be fun.
Yeah.
yeah, I've got a few folks out there
Oh
that
boy.
I could set up a whole trip to LA and interview a few people that I know out there and probably get like 4 or 5 episodes recorded.
You
I mean,
could?
I could. But I mean, that's for my sexology podcast. Like, I don't know if that's like, I'm thinking about like my mentor and professor, thinking about like my friend who was a porn star, this really awesome transgender, like, man that I met who, oh God, I love his Instagram. I love his social media. And I just think it'd be fun to just sit down and have a conversation with them.
Shout it out. What's that Instagram?
Blunt Master Kyle.
Blunt Master Kyle. Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Gosh, there was a dominatrix out there that I met, and a professional male and female dom.
Well,
So,
shoot, we might have to do something one of these days.
God, there was 3 actually. God, I would love to.
We
So I'd
just
love to
gotta
interview.
sell my ring
my list
first.
when I go out there. So it's her name. One's name is Betty Bondage. One's name is Hudzy Hahn, and one is Sir Lucifer. I would love to interview all 3 of them.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. They all do their own little thing, but that's the thing. I want to get multiple perspectives on the same topic. So I think it's really important to not just show, like, when I'm talking about someone who's trans, I want to have like 4 or 5 people who are trans, because I want to have all your different
Well, they all have
experiences
different
showcased.
something to say, yeah.
If I'm talking about polyamory, I want to do 4 or 5 episodes about that, so I can get, because there's just such a wide spectrum when it comes to things and sexual expression. And again, we're still all individuals, and everyone's experience is so, so different. I want to have a lot of different voices about a singular topic.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you have any kind of, maybe not anxiety is the right word, but just hesitation or whatever about not having enough guests. Like, do you think you'll ever run out because it's a neat,
No, because I feel like
narrow topic? Because it's kind of like,
well, because I am talking about, like, yes, I'm interviewing guests about their
I'm not saying it's
dating
just sex,
relationships,
I know
but
it's-
sometimes it's again about like
yeah,
I interviewed my mentor Joel Barrett a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
He's an LGBTQ writer, speaker, gatherer. That's how he bills himself. He's a coach, so his thing is about helping, especially men who are coming out of a heterosexual relationship and are now in a homosexual relationship, or like they're debating, like, am I gay, am I bi, what am I? And he helps people try to live authentic lives without, like, leaving people, their lives shattered in the wake.
okay.
Because that's the journey that he had. He was married, was a minister, and had kids, and he had to live his authentic self.
Right.
But he also wasn't looking to, like, hurt anybody or destroy his kids' lives in the process.
Right,
so
right.
his goal is to really help people in that regard. So while yes, he's gay, and it was a little bit about his experience with that, it's more about, like, what he does for the community.
Right.
And yeah, when it comes to sex and sexology, the LGBTQ community is a little bit more open-minded to what I do and talking about things that I'm interested in talking about. So yeah, there may be a little more of a heavier focus on that at times, but, and as again, the open, the poly, the trans episodes that I've done, one of my early episodes was about someone who, say, they started life off as a butch lesbian, then became a trans man, and now they're gender non-binary. So they go by they and them. So, that's something that's a really new topic for a lot of people to talk about. They don't even know where to begin. So, I was talking, yes, about their journey, but I was also talking about what they do as a coach and an advocate too, because they also are a coach. They're more of an executive coach. But, yeah, it's about people's stories, but it's also about what they do in regards to helping people with their love lives too. So
I imagine those people have a lot of interesting stories. I mean, it's an interesting
there's
life
and there's
they
honestly
leave,
no shortage of folks here in Kansas City that are doing stuff
Right.
Either with that community or just trying, like, I'm gonna have a pelvic floor therapist on soon. Ever heard of pelvic floor therapy?
No.
A lot of people
Sounds like
haven't.
yoga.
It's not like yoga. No, they are licensed physical therapists who happen to help men and women focus on their pelvic floor, because both men and women.
What's a pelvic floor?
So think, like,
Your pelvis?
think about, just this area right down here. So it's all those internal muscles. So think about it's
your fuck muscles.
There's that, yes,
Right?
yes. But it's also your muscles for, like, preventing incontinence. Being able to hold in urine or
We can strengthen that.
Yes.
That's my problem.
Weak
That's
bladder?
why. That's my bladder problem. I have a weak core muscle. It's because I've been
So
developing
there's
the. I've been
options to help with
developing the other muscles down there, but not the bladder stopping muscle.
Do you need to be doing
You
Kegel
know what I'm
exercise?
saying?
Kegels.
How guys can do
May I
Kegel?
chime in
How do you?
real quick?
Yeah,
No.
men need to do Kegels as well. Kegel exercises are not just for
I don't
men.
have
You
a
do
mic.
have to do them properly. So,
You do that.
yeah, some people can self-educate about what muscles to actually properly squeeze for doing Kegels, and you can do them at any time. You could be doing them right now, and nobody would know.
Right.
But if you're squeezing the wrong muscles, you can create some issues. So there's 2 options for helping with therapy for that. It's either go to pelvic floor therapist, or there's, like, medical options. Like, I interviewed a guy who has a sexual health clinic here in town, And they have a treatment for men called Gainswave. The treatment for women is called Vivive. But yeah, a pelvic floor therapist does some of that, but it's more long term. And even those procedures aren't really meant to be like for the rest of your life. It may just be like it gets you to a certain place. But a pelvic floor therapist could be an option for you too, where they're just helping with exercises to help you strengthen the proper muscles in the proper way. It can help with things like incontinence or just like say weak bladder, help with orgasm strength or erection strength in, the man's case. Yeah, there's lots of things at pelvic floor. So I'm going to have her on. I know the basics and the benefits, but I'm going to learn more when she's on my episode.
Oh, that's fun. Isn't that what's so fun about these podcasts is getting those people on and just learning cool shit?
Yeah, like I know just enough to say like, hey, maybe this is going to be an option for you, to my clients. But it's not like I know all the ins and outs of what they do and how they help. But it's for women and men of all ages. It's not just for women
super interested. I'm
or
super
that are
interested
old.
now.
You should.
If it would help my bladder issue. Like I've always had a weak bladder. I'm man enough to admit that. Kegels, that's what I need to do. So I have to learn how. I've always thought Kegels was a woman thing.
So have you ever seen men or women who have the little dimples like above their butt cheeks, like on their lower back?
Yeah.
That's called the Venus dimples, and that's a signal that their pelvic floor is probably pretty strong. Because it's actually pulling from, their pelvic floor is pulling down from that point. That's where things kind of attach in their back. So that's where it creates a dimple. It's strong on the inside.
You guys want to look to see if I have dimples?
I know I don't, so let's see.
What do I do? Where is it?
Stand up. Turn around.
Just lift my shirt up?
Pull your shirt up. You got some Venus dimples, but they're not like, yours are like long. So, I don't know. Go talk to a pelvic floor therapist. See.
Okay.
So maybe some are, maybe you just don't have the right ones that are helping with that are strong. Maybe you need to work on
Well, I told
evening
you.
them out.
I told you I've got muscles down there. I just was using them for the them fuck muscles. Them's strong. Them's go good.
They get the good.
I sacrificed, so I now have a weak bladder. But ladies, I can. Just kidding, guys.
It's all those gas station pills.
It is. It is those gas station pills. I imagine they work really well.
Yeah.
Let's go get some.
No.
Let's go get a handful of them, shove them down all of our throats, and see what they do.
I'll sit and observe.
You're going to go to Bonnaroo and take
trust.
who knows what, but you wouldn't take a gas station pill?
Hey, let me just say.
You're buying things.
I did not buy anything there at Bonnaroo, okay?
I'm not saying you
that
did.
wasn't tested beforehand.
Do they have that? Do they have like testing?
There's test kits, yeah.
Do they have those down there? That's cool.
They don't have them down there.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is I don't ingest anything that I don't know what it is.
Okay. So people have had test kits. That's a really cool thing that they do.
There are test kits, yes.
I don't do that shit anymore. I messed around with stuff.
You got kids. You got a life. You got things to lose.
It's not that. You know what it is?
Well, and if you've already done it, like I didn't spend my young teenage or college years being crazy and doing a whole bunch of drugs. That wasn't me.
Yeah. I did. I'm not.
Now I do them responsible as an adult.
As you should. Really, anyone that's young and thinking about doing any kind of drug, wait till you're at least 25.
Wait till your brain's done developing, and then you can do it
and
responsibly.
And then
test your shit.
Yeah. Test, setting.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever you're at, make sure you're with people you trust.
Yep.
That's huge. My thing was.
There's always that worry. I mean, Bonnaroo is 100,000 people. There was 100,000 people this year.
I've never been. Where is it?
Manchester, Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah.
And the thing is, once you're on the farm, I mean, it's private property. That doesn't mean the cops can't still bust you.
Sure.
It's like, but when you're in Bonnaroo, if you have a medical issue, if you took something and you don't what happens on the farm stays on the farm. The medical staff takes care of you. So between testing and that, you're probably in one of the safest locations you could possibly try something for the first time.
Do they have a freak out tent or anything like that? Like a spot where people...
if you're... No, I mean,
having a bad trip, or do they have a spot?
If you need help, they will give you help.
Yeah.
And they don't judge you. They don't turn you in.
Oh, that's what they're there for.
Yeah. If you're I'm having a bad trip, I thought that I took this. They'll help. They will help.
I'm freaking out, man.
Mm-hmm. That's
help
and
me
a lot
out.
of the festivals have that.
Yeah. It's been a really long time since I was I don't know, like 96, 97 was like the last time I went to a festival, I think.
So you're a Michigander.
No, I'm
Ish. Transplanted.
Yeah, sort of.
I've heard you say like from
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah. I was born and raised in Michigan, but then I moved around a lot.
Okay.
But yeah.
Electric Forest. I want to go up to Electric Forest.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's
What's Electric Forest?
I've only seen videos and Snapchats before, but it's a music festival in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wood. There's a lot of woods in Michigan.
So that was one thing at Bonnaroo. They had a new stage that was out in the woods, and they had like all the lights and the trees. And when you're tripping out, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, trees and drugs are great. And lights, trees, drugs, and lights.
Those kinds of drugs in nature.
Nature. Yeah, that's the thing.
Lights, yeah. I don't know. I've never done some of those drugs I haven't done before.
Yeah, I mean, most of my experience has been with like mushrooms. And that's usually been, again, when I'm out in nature, I'm camping or I'm doing something out there. Because
mushrooms are great.
Yeah, I want to get outside and see.
Did you see they've decriminalized those?
In Denver. I did see that, yeah.
And
it's kind of like what they first did with
Seattle,
weed, where it's not legal to sell, it's not legal to buy, it's just legal to have it. Like,
all right, whatever.
That's the first step,
Move
I
along.
guess. Yeah.
Move along. You've got, yeah, that's the first step.
But, there's been a lot of research about psilocybin and LSD.
MDMA.
And MDMA, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you want to get into talking about, like, the drug wars and why stuff like that's illegal. And countries like Portugal that have decriminalized that stuff. Like, I'm a proponent of decriminalization of a lot of things.
Oh, I want it all legalized. All of it.
Legalization and decriminalization, that's like, that...
I want it legalized. I want it legalized and tested.
It provides regulation. It provides knowing that you're going to get what you think you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it just shows that it lowers rates of addiction, especially for hard drugs.
Not only that, I think that's
and people are willing to just anyway.
Yeah.
If there's alternatives to street drugs, like anyway, there's lots of research out there about that. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Is I think that our current system is corrupt, it's bullshit, all that.
I'm coming from that standpoint, and the fact that if you care about Mexico, legalize it all and let's like destroy their drug trade and their the power of drugs in that country.
We created that whole situation with the drug wars, so the only way to end it, is to end
legalize
it
all and then end the power of these cartels, and they can start working on their shit.
Yep.
It's a beautiful country, beautiful people. We'll figure it out.
Exactly. Maybe they'll legalize it for themselves and just keep it there. I mean, it's just like there's lots of solutions out there. So anyway, but yeah, I think that there's so much information that's coming out now about how, especially microdosing mushrooms, can be a treatment for long-term depression. Like people who have been seeing therapists and taking medications and are not having any relief of their depressive symptoms, doing a dose of mushrooms with someone kind of guiding you through that process,
like a microgram.
Yeah, it's even just a full, like a gram dose, like an actual full-on trip. It's about what it takes for a lot of people's gram. But again, having kind of like a guide to help you through it, almost like a shaman-ish type experience, or like with ayahuasca, what they do with that, has been beneficial for people. Especially,
I know.
Like
there's all kinds of studies that are
PTSD,
coming out for that. Yeah.
It's becoming like a hard reset button for the chemicals in your brain, the neurotransmitters that are flowing through there when you do a hallucinogen. And
of course, it's natural. It's 100% natural.
Yeah.
And they've been using it for, just centuries.
Yeah.
I mean, mushrooms have been a part of the human experience and human culture since humans have been around.
I had a friend that went to Ecuador and had an experience down there. I've been wanting to talk to her about that. She did ayahuasca.
Ecuador?
Yeah, I'm really I want to find out more about that experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it is, like I say, an experience. Not like you just go to a foreign country and you do a drug. It is like a religious experience, a ceremony. You got a shaman.
Yeah,
you got to fast for it.
Yeah,
she had to prep all that stuff. So, yeah. And she was also tasked with working through some emotional things before she went too. So, I want to learn about it.
There's a lot of good stories out there, just on YouTube or whatever. Vice did there's this one chick. What was her name? Was it Amber Lyon?
Mm-hmm.
There was a chick that used to work for one of the mainstream media, CNN or something like that. I think it was CNN. And she did a story on Bahrain.
Okay.
And then came back and told the story, and CNN was like, no, you're not telling it like that. That's the truth. Bahrain apparently has a whole lot of money, invested that they give to CNN, and so they ended up turning it into basically a tourism type piece, when it was like, no, there's some atrocities going over here and it needs to be shown, light needs to be shown on it. And so she started seeing what the mainstream media is like. Oh, it's fake news, basically. A lot of it is. And so
money and influence. And
so she like just completely quit. And then she was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and Rogan mentioned the ayahuasca trips. And she was like, she just woke up one day and just took off down to do one of those ayahuasca trips, came back. It changed her life completely, opened her eyes to all this stuff. And she started a website called reset.me, and it's all about like people trying to find doing these different trips, like doing these trips safely and finding the right shaman and doing these ayahuasca trips and figuring it out. And then there's just all these stories of the different studies that you were talking about with MDMA and the mushrooms with the PTSD and all that kind of stuff. So she went down there and it changed her life. And yeah, you can read those stories so many times.
Save up my money and try that one day, maybe. So, can we take a time out?
We can't take a time out because I have to go potty.
Me too.
Hit stop streaming there. And we're back from our little break. That was a short one. Where were we at? Oh, man, I had something to say, too. Oh, the pelvic. I had something to say about the pelvic
floor therapy.
The pelvic floor therapy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Could you get your muscles so strong down there that you could like hold your bladder all day?
I mean,
just for like so much longer than anybody else. Cause you gotta be like, what's the record for? Is there a record, a Guinness World Record for longest time going without urinating?
I'm sure there's a record for everything.
I wonder what that is.
You want to spend some time Googling that? Go for it. But I don't think that's very healthy.
Will you Google that for us while we talk? She's in her own little world.
That's not very healthy. I'm pretty sure a pelvic floor therapist would say like,
I'm not saying it's healthy, but to try it for a record.
I text messaged a physical therapist that specializes in pelvic floor therapy that sticks their fingers inside of vaginas to do pelvic floor stuff.
Okay.
So
and
I have some answers.
We'll save you for a different podcast then.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
You're welcome.
I'll have that pelvic floor therapist on mine.
Oh
soon,
yeah,
so
we're just gonna listen to Keep Them Coming. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming with Open the Doors
with
coaching.
Her pelvic therapist friend on there.
Yep.
That's cool.
See, we're recording in a couple of weeks, so I'll be on by the end of July.
Yeah. What's the most surprising thing for you since starting your podcast? What's been surprising?
Well, I mean, I had a few people come to me and say, "Hey, I've got this story that I'd like to share. You know, would you be interested in having me on?" So,
isn't that fun?
That's how the Cam Girl Next Door episode came about.
I was gonna talk to you. I listened to that one. I've listened to a few of your episodes, and you had like she kind of does porn. She does cam. She's a cam girl.
Yeah, and amateur porn.
Amateur porn.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounded like she was making some money on it though.
Yeah.
How was she?
I mean, it's kind of like residuals, you know. Like you get plays and then you get money at the end of the month. It's how your online content works.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially if like it's a hosted website and people place ads or something at the beginning or end, you know, I guess it's off the ad revenue and things like that.
How do people even find that stuff?
I
guess
mean,
there's that whole world, right?
Sometimes you just there's that whole
world.
There's
just that whole
and
world. There's a whole economy and everything.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what you're going to stumble across on the internet. I mean, I talked about how I have that friend who was an adult film star. I was just going through some porn one day and it was kind of a compilation thing. And then all of a sudden it rolled to like a new clip in the compilation and I heard the voice. I was like, that sounds familiar. And I looked down at it and sure as shit, it was her.
Oh, wow.
I didn't search for her. It just happened to pop up and I was like, I'm going to just watch this one real quick. And actually at the end of it, I was almost like, nicely done.
Yeah, what do you do?
Well.
What do you do if you run into a friend on a porn site?
That was always my reasoning for never ever wanting to, I mean, like, there's lots of reasons, but my ultimate reason for never ever doing an adult film is my dad watches porn, and there was no way that I was going to have that happen one day.
Even take the chance of him
Nope.
accidentally stumbling upon it, yeah?
Not doing it.
Huh. Well, yeah. That would be interesting, I guess. But yeah, but what do you do if you just see a friend? You watch it, I guess, right?
Yeah, I watched. I mean, like, I took more of
I
a
would.
critical. I was like,
I guess I would
her
watch
technique
it.
was very good there.
And then do you say something? Did you say, hey, I watched you, I saw you on
I don't remember if I
YouPorn
texted
or
her.
whatever?
I know. I mean, it wasn't the first time I've seen her work, so it just happened. Like, but I've consciously like searched for her before to see what all she's done. But yeah, this time was just like a complete accident. So I know I texted another friend because I know her through them, and again, it's all good. Like, none of us care.
Right.
It just said like I accidentally came across it. And it was just funny, but
Nice.
they said that they'd had the same thing happen one time too.
Oh, really? Or they saw one of their friends?
No, her.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they know her too. So yeah,
That's
just
funny.
the like mindlessly scrolling. Not, that's the thing is when you're just mindlessly scrolling, or it's in a compilation of something.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I would have no shame, and I don't think she would care.
Right.
If I text her, was like, hey, I saw this one clip
it's
of
out
you.
there.
It was
She
great.
understands.
It's great.
People could run across this.
Right.
She's got to be fine
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Well,
God, I would love to have her on my podcast. That'd be fun.
get her on.
She's got some stories, man. She's
Get
got
her
some
on.
stories. I ran around with her when I was in LA for a course for school. She was kind of my chauffeur, my tour guide, whatever. She's awesome. But like we drove up into the hills. We drove by one of her ex's house,
Oh, yeah.
and he was getting out of his car going into her house. She's like, fuck, because we were driving into his cul-de-sac.
Oh,
And she was still in the same car she'd had at
right.
that time.
He would have known.
He totally saw us. He totally saw us. And he's famous. And I was like, is that? She goes, yes. That's whose house we're talking about. I go, are you dated him? She's like, yes.
Who?
I'm not saying that's her business. I'm not revealing that.
You didn't reveal who she was.
She might listen to this podcast. So
Nobody's going to know who she is.
they would know who she is if I said who he is. Yeah. Yeah.
Initials of the guy.
She has been
initials?
doxxed before. Like I can talk about her in the vague sense, but yeah,
Off mic, I want to know who it is.
maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I will tell you who he is off mic.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
want to
All
know.
right,
I don't
perfect.
care who she
Yeah.
is. I'm
So-
curious who the dude was.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you who he is. So anyway, we had a killer time together when I was out there, but she's just, she's past that. She's doing other things. She's building a business. She's an entrepreneur. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Hard life for porn stars after porn, right? For a lot of them.
I mean, for a lot of them, depending upon if they go down some negative, like, I don't think porn in itself or doing adult entertainment in any form is bad. There's just often exposure to things like drugs, alcohol,
Oh, yeah.
addictive
Well, it's a
behaviors.
bunch of seedy dudes that are running these.
Not always.
But a lot of them, you know what I
Right.
mean? They're just,
So that's
hey,
the thing
let's
is,
get,
it depends upon what their experiences are
It's like a rock and roll lifestyle. People know what they're getting
There's lots
into.
of rock stars who don't do drugs, or they do drugs responsibly.
Right.
There's lines, there's boundaries that
Mhm.
people get past, and then they get
It's not
themselves
hard. It's
into
just say when
negative
you're
behaviors.
when you're in that
And that's
kind
often when you don't love yourself
right.
enough, you are willing to go down those paths of negative, self-destructive behaviors. Versus when you, like, I love myself, I really do. Is my life perfect? Absolutely not. But I love myself.
Beautiful.
So
You've
even
won.
when I
You've won.
when I as far as my food, I take care of that because I'm giving my body fuel. That doesn't mean I'm perfect. When
Right.
I'm exercising, same thing. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. Like, yes,
Mhm.
I'll do some drugs here and there responsibly.
Right.
But ultimately, everything that I do in my life comes from a place of, like, I love myself. When people love themselves, they take better care of themselves. Like I
It's
said.
true.
So there's porn stars that love themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Porn stars that don't.
Right.
So.
It's an interesting world,
Mhm.
that porn world.
Yep. It's evolving quite a bit, obviously, because of the internet. And that was one of the things we talked about on the Cam Girl Next Door episode, was how, it doesn't always have to be about working for a studio and being out in California or Vegas. That's
Mhm.
become a big place to film porn too. You can do things from the comfort of your own home. You can produce your own content.
Right.
And while she's done a lot of content, a lot of time on camera, she's not had sex with tons and tons of people. It was
Right.
with 3 people. Just the same people
Just a
over
lot
and
of
over
times.
again. Yeah.
Huh.
So she gets to control her content. She gets to decide what she's producing. There's nothing that's beyond her boundaries. So, yeah. And it gets to just sit out there on the internet and make money for her.
Boom. That's what the internet is for. Technology is for living in Kansas City and making money using technology.
Yep. I talk to clients from all over the country.
It's the best place to live.
All over the world. I have a client that's overseas right now.
If you have a job that you can work from home, it's such a good place to live just because it costs a living and it's such a great city. It's got so much to offer. But, you know, I mean, I guess if you can also live, I don't know. I mean, it's not the number one place, but it's a good place for.
Hey, we're right in the middle of everything. Kansas City's becoming a happening place.
It is.
I heard someone say that they felt like Kansas City is right now what Portland was like 15 or 20 years ago.
I heard Austin.
That too. Okay. Before they got too expensive. Kansas City's getting kind of expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
But my dream would be to have a location where I have an office downstairs and I like live upstairs.
Yeah.
Or like actually someone was saying, 'cause I'm thinking about doing my office at my place. I've got a beautiful home. My landlord's cool with it. You know, like, hey, Alan Thicke on that what was it? Not Family Ties.
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. He had his, you know, he was a therapist. He had an office there at home.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Huh, that's funny. What that boy?
So it probably wouldn't be for like brand new clients or people I haven't met before.
Right.
Or clients I felt like I need to keep some like serious boundaries with based on their issues or whatnot. I'm not saying issues. I just mean like not everyone needs to come into my space, but a lot of my clients are either friends, people I've been introduced to. We've been working together for a while. And we've developed a rapport, and there's again established trust, established safety. Mm-hmm. That's the big thing. One of my friends was like, I worry about someone becoming a psycho stalker and then like coming after you. I'm like, that's not the kind of people I'm seeing. Like, I don't even let people just book with me automatically online. You have to talk with me first.
That's smart.
And then we'll meet in person. And if there's any issue at all, I feel like it goes to, you know, somebody the office. Else. It's at the therapy office that I'm at. So.
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. If you can work from home, great place.
Yeah.
Kansas City's.
Save time, save money. Be more productive, just because if you don't have a client in between these two sessions, I just go to my computer, work on my podcast, shoot off an email, whatever.
You're still doing the thing. Look at you. It's awesome.
Always hustling.
I know.
Always.
It's so fun. It's fun to have people like you to, I don't know, draw inspiration from and just watch you grow. Like there's a few people that I've developed relationships with, and it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's just fun to watch. It's really cool to see people actually doing it. You know, I've also had other people on that say they're going to do shit and say they're going to do this and that, and they don't do anything. Like they get just a full head of steam for a hot minute, and then it becomes too hard.
They lack execution.
Mm-hmm. Or discipline.
Or discipline, yeah. That's my thing. You do all those tests out there and whatnot. One thing that I have actually found that I like is Strengths Finders, because it's based on this idea that you can certainly try and work on the things that you're bad at, but you're never going to be fantastic at them. Mm-hmm. Work on what you're really, really good at. Focus on using that strength, and that's where you'll find your success. So in coming from that place, I realized that I lack any of my top 10 strengths in the execution.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more in like creation, ideation, that kind of stuff.
I think most creative people are like that.
I see how everything's very connected. Mm-hmm. Connectedness is one of my things. Actually, so the thing that I had an issue with doing drugs at Bonnaroo is I did acid for the first time. Mm-hmm. LSD, I had just, let's look at all the things that therapists used to do in the 60s and 70s with LSD. I was like ready to finally try it and see what that experience was like. That night I was feeling very disconnected from the universe. Like I was alone. And it took me like 2 weeks to pull myself back out of that and remember, like, no, one of your top strengths is connectedness. It's also analytical. Like you see the connections in all things. So I kind of had to shake myself out of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, get back to what's real, which is, as Childish Gambino was saying when I was down there, like everything is beautiful because everything is connected. We are all one and we are all connected. So I had to like rechannel him.
It's crazy.
I think probably my problem was during my acid trip, Post Malone was on stage, and that's downer music, man.
I'm not a Post Malone fan.
I'm not a Post Malone fan either. It just seemed so sad the whole time. I was like,
I just don't like anything about it or him.
I wasn't at his show. It's just what I could hear while I was experiencing my trip in the woods.
Right.
So, yeah.
Bummer. What's the perfect music you could have thought of?
Everyone was telling me I should have done it during the Fish set because they were
Fish was there?
Fish was there.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday and Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They did 2 sets
Fish-
actually on Sunday.
Was that like a special thing? They're not still
That was just a
touring or
special
anything,
thing.
are they?
Yeah, that was a special thing.
Wow.
Was it Friday night? No, I did it Friday because they were after Childish Gambino. Yeah. Childish was the best set that I saw.
Oh,
by
he's
the way.
one of the most talented
He was
just artists.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's great. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's got some, yeah. he's
Grizz
great.
was really good too. I loved Grizz's set.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a great.
I
Who else
saw
was there?
Solange, Cardi B. Saw her rip her. She was hilarious. She's like, "Hey Al, I ripped my fucking costume. This is some bullshit. I gotta go change."
Oh, nice.
She came back out in a bathrobe. It was all over social media. Like she performed the rest of her Bonnaroo set in a
Oh,
bathrobe.
wow.
Poor thing. She was sweating her ass off.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It was because it was like the first night that was hot. The other nights got pretty comfortable, but also you're on stage, you're dancing, there's lights, all that stuff. So, but it's humid in Tennessee. Oof.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, anyway, I don't know. Cardi B's semi-problematic for me with some of the stuff that she's done this year and said this year. So,
About the dudes taking the
Yeah,
dudes
that's
back
not
and drugging
cool.
them.
That's
That's not
not
cool. That's
cool.
not cool at all.
mm-mm.
And nobody gave her shit about it.
Well, I went and saw a few of her songs, and honestly, what drove me away from her set was her hype man. After every single song, and before she'd start another one, it was make some motherfucking noise, and I'm like, I will clap for her. Trust me. I don't need you to come out and scream that at me after every single 2.5 minute song that she does. Like,
the hype man.
there's 60,000 people standing here. Do you think we're not going to clap for her when she's? That's what drove me away from her set.
Right. Yeah, the hype man. Hype man is so annoying.
Solange's set was much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a
Lumineers were fantastic.
Fish would have been
What
dope.
else?
I had a hot.
I heard
minute.
Fish. I didn't stand there and watch Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked that.
But we were also in tents only, so we're right by. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're right by it.
Cool. I would like to do a festival like that.
You want to go next year?
When is it?
It's always the same, like
When
going into like the second weekend. So it'll be the because it was the 14th through 16th or 13th through 16th this year. So it'll be like the 14th through whatever next year.
I'll keep it in mind. My son's birthday is the 21st.
No, it's the weekend before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, it's always Father's Day weekend.
Oh, I'm a father.
So treat yourself to a weekend
away from my kids.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one. There's other festival. God, that does sound cool.
You can spend time with them when you get back, or time before you go.
Trust me, I can probably justify something like that for myself.
I mean, really, what is Father's Day other than spending time with your kids and getting like a handmade
No,
card?
you're right.
They can still do that before or after.
No, you're right. I did have a good.
I sent
Father's
my
Day
dad
though.
his card before I left, and I texted him, so I was still a good daughter and gave him his,
Nice.
normally what he would have on Father's Day,
Right.
other than my presents. But
What are your goals with your podcast?
oh, well, I want people to again hear different experiences that are completely outside of anything they've ever talked about or discussed or experienced on their own. I believe very strongly that it takes having a conversation with people that are different than you in order to change your worldview. And so many people are insulating themselves with people that think just like them.
Yeah.
Or look just like them or
lot
act
of-
just like them.
A lot of echo chambers.
Right. So I want people to hear different experiences, whether that's from someone who's a different race, someone who's differently abled, someone who's differently gendered. It doesn't matter, just different voices, different experiences.
Right.
I want to help expand people's minds. I, of course, want to educate people about sex and sexuality and sexual health. Gosh, I mean, some of the things that I've talked about both with clients and just with people in general, I'm not laughing at them for lacking knowledge. I'm just sometimes really, really shocked, but then I have to pull myself back and think, yes, I've done a lot of self-education, but I also, was able to learn things as I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody had that luxury. Not everybody got really good factual, sex or health information.
Right.
Or they've forgotten it, or they got bad info. I don't know. Just there's a lot of things out there that I'm like, man, I am here for a reason. And I'm doing good work because, some of the things that I educate people on, I'm just like, bless your heart. I have empathy and understanding for him. It's not pity, and it's not like, how could you not know this?
Mm-hmm.
It's, oh, big doll, let's talk.
Really?
Let's talk. Mm-hmm.
And you're just real with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's an example. Sometimes it's not always about sex. Sometimes it's about relationships too.
Sure.
You know, and we're trying to talk a lot about gender equality and things like, and equity these days. And I had a client who was talking about his goals for himself. And he mentioned a goal that was about, I want to make more money. I want to make more money than her by X date. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
okay, tell me more about that goal. and he's saying like what it would be. I was like, so tell me why the comparison. Why is it about making more money than her rather than making more money than you have in the past? Like, how much did you make last year? And he said the amount. I go, okay, well, that goal is what, 1.5 times what you made last year. Is that a realistic goal? He's like, well, but it's more money than her. I go, okay, so I'm not often very directive in the way that I coach people, but I feel like we need to have a conversation about this right now. So the fact that your expectation is that she will always make less money than you, or that you will make more money than her. Let's talk about framing that too. Like, why does that have to be the way that it is? And I kept asking him why over and over and over again until he got to the point where he admitted, well, that's the societal expectation, that I make more money than my future spouse. I'm like, okay, let's break down, like, what has she done to get to the point in her career where she makes that much money? And he, talked about her education, her time at the company, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, you're an entrepreneur. Let's talk about what it took you to make that much money last year. And he was laying that out. I go, so when you think about how you've got to get to that goal, let's break that down about how you can be smart about your goal against yourself. And talking about, again, being realistic and everything. And then just getting him down that path to realize how sexist, innately sexist that view was. It was a little bit of a struggle because, again, you're trying to ask questions and not be too directive. But once he finally got like, okay, I get it. And really helping him not just see like that was a sexist attitude, but understand how that affects her. Like, think about how if you're looking your spouse in the eye and saying, I have to make more money than you, that either means you have to diminish yourself or I've got to raise my expectation. Like, that always ends up becoming a, like, you expect them to meet in the middle. And that's just not, that's not fair. That's not equitable. She's worked her ass off. You want to make more money than her? Great. You compare yourself to yourself and you work your ass off. Right. But it should never be about, again, making more money than your partner because that's what's expected of you. Right. Because then why does a woman always have to lower herself and date somebody that, okay, why is it okay for a male doctor to marry like a teacher or a nurse or someone like that? However, when the roles are reversed, and same within maybe that person becomes a stay-at-home parent, reverse those roles, society's not always okay with that. And why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I could give you an answer, but it'd be just
because it's full of bullshit. Let's just like shed the bullshit. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So if you want to become more conscious and aware of the bullshit that we've been fed, it's time to stop feeding in to the bullshit that you were fed. Sure. That's where I had to pull him out and recognize like that's an expectation. That's not fair and that's not equitable.
I would say probably a common argument for that against that would maybe be. And on an evolutionary standpoint, that the man has always been the provider. They've gone out and hunted the meat.
Have they? Always?
They're saying who knows? I'm giving you the argument since when we first were cave people. It was the men are stronger than women.
This isn't
we're
about...
going out getting the meat and bringing it home. Providing
so,
meat. The most important thing back then was food.
Just because that's the way things have quote unquote always been does not mean that that's the way things always will be and that's not always fair across all cultures. Right.
I'm telling you from just an evolutionary standpoint argument. I think that's where it would be that we're just, since it's in our DNA, since we started being people.
But again, let's back up to this whole I get what you're trying to do, which is to find where that probably came from. But really where it comes from is just that society equates money, with being able to provide. Providing has shifted,
Yeah.
when you think about in the context of what it was even 150 years ago here on the prairie. Providing was very different than what it is now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, but that also doesn't mean like we don't have to draw all those unnecessary gender-based conclusions about what used to be and what is now.
I'm not saying his thinking's correct. I'm just saying I think that might be kind of where
but
that
like,
kind of feeling would come from. Like, I don't feel like as much of a man.
Let's not pull this whole evolutionary, mythology into it, because that's really like that's making a lot of assumptions to say like you're going back to your reptilian brain, you're doing all this. No, like let's talk about how our society tries to condition people, because it's not every single society that's like that. So this is just about conditioning. And it's about breaking ourselves of that societal conditioning that's taught us things.
Yeah, I don't know. What are some societies where the
bottom line is if it's teaching you something that creates strife in your life,
right,
or discomfort.
Oh, sure.
That's what it's about.
But we do need this. We do need some level of discomfort.
You don't need to have discomfort in your relationship to where you expect a woman to diminish herself in order to meet a man.
Is he saying was he saying that she needed to diminish herself? Did he say you need to make less? Stop making so much. You need to make less so I can catch up to you?
When I got him to talk about, so again, I'm trying not to reveal too much about a client, but when you think about what's not even just necessarily about him or that situation, but think about how if that one partner has that expectation of I have to make more money than my other partner, that competitiveness is not healthy for a relationship.
Right. No,
so
it's not,
it doesn't matter what the competition is about.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to be in competition with your partner.
Right.
They're your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if the roles are reversed, society is usually okay with. And that was even the thing that I was bringing up to him was like, I asked him that question do you think it's okay for a neuroscientist to marry an elementary school teacher? Widely different education backgrounds, probably widely different salaries.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? It's like, yeah. Reverse it. She makes $250,000, almost $1 million a year, and he makes $30,000-$40,000 a year as a middle school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? He's like, like, see? Why is that not okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the gender that's reversed.
Yeah.
They're still in love and good human beings and in a partnership, but one of them makes more money than the other. Does it matter what's between their legs? And he was like, So it's that moment he realized his opinion wasn't really based on what he actually believed. It was based on something that other people were telling him. And it's not about being mad at what those other people have told you. It's realizing that they got the wrong information and the people before them gave them the wrong information, and so on and so on and so on. It's a generational thing for a lot of that. So it takes stopping in the moment, asking yourself how you really feel about something, and then reassessing.
Right.
You're going like, either yes, that's genuinely my belief, or like, maybe that is some bullshit.
Now, what if that is his belief? Is that okay to have that belief?
Again, when he was
asking himself... Is it okay for him to be sexist? Not for him, huh?
I don't really think that when people these days ask themselves some of those hard questions, there's some out there. But
I'm a sexist and I'm fine with it.
But when you ask that person, like, what if that was your daughter? That's a good place. It always hits them like, no one's going to treat my, So then you really do believe differently. That's the thing. Yes. Is there going to be some people out there who are genuinely sexist and they're shitheads? Yes.
Right.
But for the most part, I think there are a lot of people out there who have some ill-informed attitudes that when they're really presented with questions or things like that, they'll stop and they'll go,
well, that's the thing. People don't want to think anymore about a lot of issues. They just want to.
I mean, hey, as a coach, I see it all the time with people that are wanting to develop some new attitudes or they recognize like, okay, what I've been thinking or how I've been acting hasn't gotten me anywhere. So what do I need to do differently? Yeah.
That's respectable. Mm-hmm. And why not come to you?
Right.
You're a professional.
I've had people come to me who say like, I'll get a first date, I'll get a second date. It just doesn't go anywhere after that. And
I am hoping your podcast, it kind of helps you out with that too. Like it's kind of like a marketing tool type too. Like maybe people will come.
One of my episodes was about like how to get back out onto the dating scene after a long-term relationship. Mm-hmm. That was a listener question.
Yeah.
So
just gotta do it. Get out there. Get you on Tinder. Get you a Bumble. Go to the grocery store.
I know that's the one I've been talking about a lot, but yeah. It just depends on
whatever.
or match. It just depends on what you're
Plenty
looking
of
for.
fish.
It depends
what other
upon
ones?
what dumpster fire
Cupid,
you're looking for.
Farmers Only.
Coffee meets bagel.
Coffee meets bagel. Never heard of that one.
Yeah, there's
Grinder.
There's all sorts of ones for like open and poly relationships. There's some for, BDSM. There's some for bisexuals. Plenty for just like gay folks, like, female focused or male focused. Yeah. There's all sorts of dating apps out there.
If people want to get at you for relationship advice or whatever on that professional level, how do they do it?
They can either go to my website and fill
What's
out my
your
form. OpenTheDoorsCoaching.com. Make sure you make that doors plural. They can fill out my contact form, or they can just email me directly, Kristen, which is Kristen at OpenTheDoorsCoaching.com. And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can find me. But yeah, that's definitely a service that I'm easy to find. I make myself easy to find. Yes. Yeah. I mean,
you got any more questions for me? You haven't done a whole lot. We can go a little bit more.
We can go a little bit more.
Well, yeah, I'm in no hurry. Was just throwing it out there, people. If you want to find her, there it is.
Yeah. So a lot of times people ask me, I'm twice divorced, and they ask me, well, do you think you'll ever get married again? Do you believe in marriage? Things like that.
That's what they ask when they hear you're twice divorced.
Yeah. What do you expect them to ask me? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I would have been like,
didn't you learn your lesson the first time?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why didn't you keep any of them around? No, I do get asked sometimes, like, what happened?
Huh.
Anyway.
Yeah. People love that one. Why didn't it work? I was like,
why doesn't anything work?
I used to leave the toilet seat up. That's why it didn't work. What do you want? You really want to sit? Like, are you that? Like, you want to know? Like, it's going to take a long time to answer that question.
Yeah,
like,
right.
People just think, oh, it was. What do you?
I mean,
like, you think there's a simple answer for a divorce?
People get really brazen with the things that they say or the things that they ask. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so as a sex and relationship coach, someone that says I'm twice divorced, I sometimes when they ask me that stuff, I just make the joke of like, well, I know more of what not to do than what to do. But anyway. But they'll often ask me like, well, do you believe in marriage, or would you ever get married again? And I say, I may never get married again.
Never
I
say
think
never.
It would take something really, really special. I'm definitely more picky this time around.
Right.
If I'm going to do it a third time, like high standards.
Sure.
Yes. But what about you? What do you think about marriage? Because I say like, no, I believe in love and I believe in marriage. Absolutely. I think that open relationships and polyamorous relationships are great, but it's up to everyone to kind of figure it out. So like, what do you feel like your first marriage really taught you about marriage and relationship structures?
That's a question?
Yep.
That was a lengthy question.
Well, just some commentary in there with it.
Right. What did I learn from my marriage?
Like, do you still believe in monogamy? Are you still like open to marriage again? Or because sometimes people are like, I'm never getting married again.
I'm still figuring things out. What I've learned from that marriage is communication is key. Mm-hmm. And I still knew that, but communication is really, really key with everything. You got to just communicate. You have to be yourself and comfortable with yourself and confident enough in yourself that if who you are isn't going to work with a person, they're not going to match. Mm-hmm. You just have to realize that and just be like, this sucks, but it's not going to work out. Mm-hmm. Like, I wish I would have realized that. My ex is a really great person, but we just weren't just not a fit. You know what I mean? Just there's too many. It just, you know what I mean?
Weren't that compatible.
Yeah, there's just, so I've learned to just kind of like, you just have to be yourself and you have to be accepted. If you can, you just have, I don't know, like one thing is learn to be accepted. You have to find someone that can accept you fully.
Yeah. Where you can be your authentic self.
Exactly. Like all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's too hard to be anybody else.
Yeah. Communication, authenticity.
So when you say you're still figuring things out, are you still figuring out like?
I don't know that I ever want to get married again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to sign a contract with another woman in the government.
Right. Fuck the state.
It's so that's kind of like that's my type thing against marriage. Mm-hmm. I'm not against a monogamous relationship. Mm-hmm. I don't, I'm not against that. But I just don't, and again, never say never. I'm not gonna say I'll never get married. I don't. Right now, I'm still just like, marriage doesn't. Why?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
That's my divorce didn't treat me too well, and I'd like to not have to go through that, just the legal process and all that stuff. I don't know. But then, then there's benefits to it, but that's how they suck in. But, again, I would also wouldn't want, you don't go into a marriage going, what happens if this doesn't work out? You don't want to have that what if, but I don't know. It is a business transaction. I don't know.
Look, it becomes a business transaction as soon as you have to sign a legal document that's binding with the government.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the state.
Yeah. And that just gets messy. So, but
yeah, so that's kind of been my thing too, is that I could absolutely see myself with someone for the rest of my life. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to sign a piece of paper that says that we are legally bound to one another. Mm-hmm. We may or may not. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not opposed to marriage. I'm not anti-marriage. I think sometimes when people think that, if you're in an open relationship or you have done, kind of like your time with poly or whatever, that means it's just your lifestyle. Like, people kind of flow in and out of whatever relationship structure they think they feel is best for them at the time.
Right.
And sometimes people go to that way and they stay that way. They're always poly, they're always open, whatever, and then they never close it off. Other people realize either at the time of their life they're at, or just whatever, that's not for them. But yeah, I don't take one side or the other. I don't think that you should be monogamous or you should be poly, because some people that are poly think everyone should be poly. It's just not right for everybody.
Right. Yeah, there's books out there that say, again, they do a lot of the evolutionary science on why everyone should be poly. There's a couple books out there that are like that.
It actually makes our civilization stronger genetically to have not have one whole generation of kids be from the same partner, I think is what part of the argument is.
Yeah, makes sense. Unless you got a couple of just like The Rock and Rebecca Lobo making babies constantly. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna do better than me and with you, and then married? Me, and then I'm taking two just studs. Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking two studs, The Rock and Rebecca Lobo. Imagine the kids they would produce. Are you kidding me? And I'm saying if you and I had a kid, and then me and Miss California over here, I had a kid with her. Those two kids could be badasses, but they're not gonna be The Rock, Rebecca Lobo genes. They're not gonna be that badass.
You're not that svelte there.
Neither are you.
No.
It's not just me. It's just what I'm saying. Yeah. So you just got never mind. That's where you start going down a real dark road.
Right. So anyway, but my whole point is I don't pick sides. So, but yeah, I've had a lot of people assume that just because I'm a divorcee that I think that marriage is terrible.
Right.
Yeah, or that I'm telling people. I have coached people through divorces.
Do you know who Neil Strauss is?
Yeah. Heard of Neil Strauss, yeah. Read some of their stuff. Mm-hmm.
He's got the game. Mm-hmm. And then he did another one. I'd like to sit down and talk to that guy. He's had an interesting pickup. He was the pickup
artist.
He was a pickup artist.
Yes, I'm very familiar with that.
And then
I think he's actually kind of retracted from some of that
he's
stuff.
He's retracted from almost,
which is good.
Now he's got it. Now he's in a monogamous relationship. He quit all of that. He was with this one girl and said, I just want to go. And he did it all. He was going to these sex parties with celebrities in Vegas, doing every day, living with two or three chicks.
But
he was doing it all.
He didn't need to go write a whole book series about being a pickup artist. That was ridiculous.
At the time, it was great. It made him money. He was an author. I think what happened was, he did I could be so mistaken, but I think he did an article for Maxim or something, and it really took off. And he was like, hey, I can make a book.
Right.
Why not? It wasn't just about...
He's a capitalist.
It wasn't just about picking up women. It was also about teaching men self-confidence. And it was taking wallflower type dudes and being like, hey, get out there and open your mouth and get some friends. The little clip art is I
don't mean to necessarily knock everything that he's done, because actually I know a few guys who said that they read his book and did that for a little while, and I could see how that probably just lifted their confidence a bit.
Right.
But they both admittedly did some dickish things.
Oh, well,
throughout that process.
How old were they? 20s?
I guess in their 20s, yeah.
Tell me a guy in the 20s, a
Touche.
single dude that's not doing dickish things.
I mean, there's some
and
out
there's
there
chicks that are out there doing
don't.
bitchy things too. There's some, but I mean,
Again,
that's just people.
there's a spectrum of behavior. Yes,
Yep, exactly.
Yes,
There's just
those people exist. It's not all.
Yes.
Yes.
There's dicks out there and there's non-dicks out there.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think, if that was used as a tool, my point is, I think his latest book was like how all of that was like, yeah, done. You don't need any of that. He said he found one woman, but then he left her to go do all that, and then came back to her, and she accepted it. And then he's like, now just straight monogamous with just her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fascinating to read his last book on that, knowing from what he was, and just seeing that journey of like the game to.
Yeah.
I wish I remember what this book was called. I've read it recently. It was really good.
Do you have it?
I don't. It was I had it from the library.
Oh.
I have the library. I literally can walk to the library.
Oh,
it's
nice.
right.
Saves you a lot of money. Yeah, I've been going to the downtown library a lot lately and getting some stuff. I was just reading Stonewall, actually.
What's Stonewall?
Well, it's about the Stonewall riots because it's the 50th anniversary. That's why World Pride this year was in New York City.
The Truth. It's called The Truth, an uncomfortable book. Oh, hold on.
Anyway, so it's just about how the history around the Stonewall riots and how that got started.
I don't know what the Stonewall riots
Stonewall riots is what started Pride. So it was the New York City Police Department kept going to bars.
Gay bars or something?
Gay bars, yeah. And they were, back then it was still illegal. Sodomy, things like that was illegal.
What year was this? 50s, you said?
This was in the 60s. So
60s?
yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Well, a lot of shit was going on in the 50s and 60s.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. And just one night, people had enough, and they started throwing stuff at the cops, and they lit shit on fire. So Pride started as a riot.
How many people were involved in this?
Hundreds. The bar is not that big, so there's about 100 people there, but there's people just in the vicinity, and then it just grew, and yeah.
Oh wow.
But that was what led to the very first parade of people being out and saying like, we're here,
we're queer,
we're not going anywhere. Yeah. Exactly. But that was kind of the first time that anyone in the LGBT community really organized. So yeah, it's a lot about Sylvia. Gosh dang it, because I've been talking so long. Marsha P. Johnson, and what's Sylvia's last name? I can see her.
Pinkerton.
No, I can see her in my mind's eye, but I'm losing her last name right now. Anyway, but yeah. It's an interesting book. I'm about halfway through it. But I'm very jealous of several of my friends who went this weekend and were at World Pride and at Stonewall. The Heartland Men's Chorus here in town. Are you familiar with them?
No.
The LGBT. Well, it's not. It's mostly gay men, but there are a few women in there. So, but it's a gay men's chorus. And there's allies in there too that sing. But yeah, they just do a lot to like raise awareness and raise money. For LGBT causes here in town, and they went and they were singing at Carnegie Hall last night. Really? Yeah. So several of my friends were at the World Pride party there out front of Stonewall.
Let me get one of them on the
podcast.
podcast.
Where it all started. Oh yeah. Okay. I have a friend who would definitely want to be on your podcast because he's got some stuff he would.
You gave me a friend to be on my podcast.
Yeah, I did. Dre's episode was great. It did make me chuckle how like right away he's like, oh, it's not one of our clients. I just want to clarify that. No, he was not. I've known him for a while, long before I started this business. So.
Super smart dude. Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love what he's doing.
Yeah, throw me anybody. I always think of you in the back of my mind too with my guests. I'm like, I wonder if she'd be interested in this person.
Yeah, if they've got an interesting
story. But then
I
have to think about like, if it's gonna be like,
Well, you can, when you're done talking to him, just ask him like, hey, are you interested in being on any other shows? I got this friend, I've got this friend, and hey, I've got sex coach Kristen, and keep them coming.
Actually, I got someone for you. Yeah. Okay. I actually do have someone for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'll hit her up.
Cool. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'll be happy to help you find guests too. Support your stuff.
That's what's great about the community, Kansas City community. Like they're all just so supportive of each other. Like a lot of the creatives, you know what I mean? It's really cool.
And entrepreneurs.
I've only found a couple.
That's been one thing. I'm a little bit more in the entrepreneurial space than you are. So it's one thing is that people are always willing to open their doors and chat. Nobody really says if they don't say no in this city. They say like, yes, but, or yes, and.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very different approach to say like, no, I can't help you. It's like, yes, I can help you, but right now I'm really busy. Can we meet up in a month?
Yeah.
Or yes, I absolutely want to help you. Or
Oh,
yes,
there
I'd
is
love
a
to
lot
help
of
you,
that,
but this
yeah.
person's better.
There's a lot
And
of
they'll
peop-
make other
yeah,
introductions.
A lot of busy people.
Oh yeah, people are
People are busy.
People are busy.
Entrepreneurs
People
are
are
busy.
hustling, but they're also willing to, I think, take time and help other folks. That's
Yeah.
just.
I've had a lot of good luck. I've been running into more and more people saying no or canceling last minute type stuff but yeah, for the most part it's there's people are so willing and awesome around here, just reaching out to them.
See, that's why I wanted to build up a catalog of episodes, because in case someone needed to cancel or reschedule, I'd have something else in the
I do that too, and
bag,
now
you know?
I'm like
wearing thin on your.
wearing real thin. Like you're next week.
Oh,
I got someone
yeah.
tomorrow, and then I was having 2 backups,
Mhm.
but now I just have the 1 backup, which is
Mhm.
fine. I should replenish. I've got some stuff scheduled.
You could do a best of episode just to like build you up a week of buffer or something.
Oh, I wouldn't even
That's
know
what
how
some
to,
podcasts do. You just pull
would-
clips from old episodes.
yeah, that would be.
That would take work and editing.
No, I like doing that. I've been doing that. I did a bunch last night doing like for Instagram. Like I've been doing like 1-minute clips.
I've been wanting to do that.
Yeah, I make a 1-minute clip.
I saw those.
On you, and I do a video of it, and I put
Mhm.
that on Instagram. And then I do a throwback Thursday, a
Mhm.
1-minute clip on Thursday. I go back. I started with episode 1,
Mhm.
and I made episode 4 and 5 last night, and those will be out, next Thursday and
Mhm.
the Thursday after that. It's
Yeah.
fun making that stuff.
So since you do video, I don't do video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's easier for you to do that. But I've seen like audio
It's the same.
clips that too, like where you just have like the logo or just a,
Yeah,
Canva or whatever, but you've got like the audio playing over just.
it's the same
as a
for
clip.
you. You can edit yours the exact same way. It's just splitting. You
Mhm.
already edit. You know how to do
Yeah.
it. So you could do like put a picture.
Teach me, show me how. Later.
Yeah, you take a picture, put a picture up,
Uh huh.
and then just put the audio of your 1-minute audio of whatever it is you want on there.
All right, I'll do it.
You can
I
do, there's
mean, I
all
wanna do
different
it.
things you could do. Take a picture of your guest every week.
That's one thing I'm always so terrible about is taking pictures. When I
It
have
takes
guests.
a while.
Yeah,
We're still brand new. I'm
right?
still really bad at it too. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, I forgot to get it. Yeah. But take a picture of them and then you put it up with their 1-minute clip.
Mhm.
That might be cool. There's all kinds of different things you can do.
Thanks for the ideas.
Yeah. I want to help you
Appreciate
keep just improving
Get better.
because
and
it's
better
fun.
and
I
better.
mean, I feel
Keep
like
learning.
I feel like I got a piece of I got a little personal investment into
Mhm.
your podcast.
Yes, you do.
It's
When I-
awesome.
When I start getting sponsorship, you'll get a check. Just kidding.
Nope.
No,
I won't accept it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any last minute questions for me as a sex coach? Something about dating, sex, relationships? Maybe that it doesn't have to be for you. You could be asking for a friend.
I'm asking. No, I was gonna actually just say, I know somebody that tried one of those sex pills recently,
Okay.
and it freaking worked.
What did it do? What was it for and what did it do?
It was for. I guess it was just for. I guess it was like Viagra. Like bam, it's just boom, and it's angry. It's angry. It's ready to go
'Kay.
at the moment's notice, and it's just fuller and harder. It worked. It freaking worked. It was crazy. And then did it, and then
But was it healthy? Was it safe? Do you know? Like, that's the thing. Like, do you
No,
really know what
I-
you're taking?
no.
Do you have any idea what you took?
So from the research I've done, they put a bunch of natural stuff in there.
Such as?
Fuck if I know.
That's
But
the point.
here's the thing. The research I've done, what it usually is it's usually like Viagra or Cialis, those main ingredients, and it's just in that.
How is that legal to sell over the counter then?
They get around it. I don't know. It's not FDA approved. I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Okay,
Somebody
I don't
that I
necessarily
know.
always take things that are FDA approved. I got that. But
I'm
what
just
I'm
saying,
saying is,
I'm not saying
if
go
you're
out and do
saying
it.
it's the stuff that's in Viagra and Cialis, which is I think a controlled substance, not that it's controlled substance, but what I'm saying is like you have to be careful about the dosage.
Yeah, that's the
okay?
thing.
So if
you
you're
never
selling
know.
something over the counter to people who can't properly dose it based
Mhm.
on their body weight or age, or also taking into account you're not supposed to take those things if you've got any heart conditions.
Right.
Is there a warning label on like don't take this
Yeah,
if you have a heart
there's a
condition?
warning label on
okay.
there.
Still,
They care.
you're buying it. Okay. when you have to get a
I'm not
prescription from it, your doctor
advocating it.
prevents you from doing it. Yes, there's black market, but that's really what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just not, I don't think that's healthy or that's safe. And I don't think that's responsible for people to just take something they don't know what it is.
Right. Anyways.
I test my LSD, for God's sakes. I'm not just like, cool. Like, why would I take something over the counter from a gas station or
Hey.
want my partner to do that? That's.
Some people like to live on the edge.
I knew you would say that.
Some people like
I
a
just
little
knew it. In
danger.
fact, that rolled through my head. He's going to say some people just like living on the edge.
Yeah.
You're one of those.
Yeah. Look,
Go for it.
you know what? It was, someone recommended it, and then someone brought it to me and said, here, try this. I said, all right, is this one of those things? And I tried it, and boom. So, anyways.
So you're also the kind of person that will just try drugs and anyone
No,
like,
no
eat
way.
this.
Nope, no way. No.
Molly.
No, I would not do. I've never done Molly. I wouldn't do that.
It's fine.
Yeah. Anyways, and then so I got done having sex, and then usually I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm done. I'm all right. I had sex. I'm not ready to go. It's gonna be a while.
Okay.
I'm gonna need some water. I'm gonna need to go.
Your
have
refractory period.
Long. I have a fairly long refractory period.
What's long? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour?
Hours.
Hours.
I'm not ready. If I do it once, I'm not ready to go again anytime soon.
Okay.
This stuff, boom, it was like 5 minutes after. Just as same as it was interesting.
No problems, no issues with that?
No problems, no issues.
Okay. No extended
that's
erection
what
after that?
No, that's what I was afraid of. I was like, I don't want to be hard for 4 hours, have to go to the doctor and be like, hey, help a brother out.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, okay, so did you get lucky and have a really good experience on whatever this was?
Probably.
Sure.
Probably.
But is there also the chance that maybe you or other people out there could have a really bad experience on that
or
stuff?
a really good experience? They could absolutely have a bad experience or a good experience. Yeah. But what's the worst experience they would have?
I think that there's probably, whatever you took, there's a
Right.
way to also acquire that in a safe way
Mm-hmm.
that makes sure that your dosage is fine and all that stuff. I guess is what I'm saying. Is there's alternatives to buying. If that's really what you need. That's the thing. You don't even know what you took. You don't know what that stuff is.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
what
my
it was.
point.
It was recreational. It was like a recreational. It was just a recreational drug that's legal, ladies and gentlemen. Vitamins. It's a supplement. Recreationally. Try
Again,
it.
I
feel like I'm being judged right now for.
I don't necessarily think that
Taking
you're a
gas
fucking
station.
idiot for taking it. I don't necessarily think that you're the smartest man in the world for taking
I don't claim to
it.
be. No,
So
that's okay.
You reside somewhere in the middle, and that's why you took it.
I don't want to be the smartest man in the world. I've seen Elon Musk. He says you don't want what he has. I'm fine being dumb and semi-attractive.
There you go.
What more can you ask for?
There you go. Just, yeah. You know where I stand on the gas station supplements.
Like I said,
gentlemen.
I'm not saying go out there and get it, guys. But I am saying the kind I had was called Kangaroo.
Oh, that's why kangaroo came up earlier.
Yeah.
Ah, got it. Okay, it all makes sense now.
Yep. The long.
You bounce back.
Yeah. I think yes.
I get it now.
She gets
I
it.
get it now. Oh, shit.
Boom, ladies and
Good one.
gentlemen. The Inner Talk Podcast. This was episode 57, probably. Any last words, young lady?
No, it's come listen to me and keep them coming. And if you think that you've got an interesting story you'd like to share, you know someone, have them reach out to me. Find me on the socials. Find me on my website or whatnot.
Find our podcast. It's good. I like it.
Open the Doors Coaching.
Open the Doors Coaching.
KC.
It's you can obviously find it on all the podcasts.
You'll have a
all
link in your
podcast
show
apps.
notes too, won't you?
Probably. We'll think about that.
Do you do show notes?
Sort of. I need to work on that. I do, but they're not like good ones.
That's the main reason I listen back to my episodes, is so I can do my show notes.
I'd like to hire somebody. Anybody out there, if you want to do my show notes, I'll pay you. But that means you have to listen to the show.
Before it launches too.
Yeah.
Before the episode's up. So you
But you got a couple
so
weeks.
you've got
You could listen to a bunch and yeah. I'll even pay for backlogged ones.
Turnaround time. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Kristen, thank you so much. This was fun. And then, oh wait, this is a swapcast. I should tell your people how they can find me.
How can they find you? I
we
was
didn't
just
even go
thinking
into
that.
Yeah. Neanderthal Podcast.
Mm-hmm. On all the socials?
Everywhere. On the social. Just find me on Instagram at Neanderthal Pod. And email me, neandertalkpodcast@gmail. Real easy. I'm YouTube.
And what kind of guests are you looking for?
If you have an interesting story, if you're an entrepreneur and have something really cool that you want to talk about and get out there, I'm interested. If you're a cool musician, if you're a comic, if you're a scientist, I'd like to get a paleontologist on here, an Egyptologist, a climate change expert, a climate change denier, whatever.
Talented perspectives, right?
I have just a wide variety.
Okay. There you go. So if you've got one of those stories, reach out to Ryan at Neanderthal Pod on the socials.
Yes.
He's mostly active on Instagram. That's for sure.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
This was awesome.
This is a fun little crossover episode.
I love it. All right. We're out of here. Bye.
See ya.
Stop streaming.